I think it's working, but it kind of looks all shitty. Shy Guy, what you got over there, player?
Well, hang on. Damn old MK33 radiation grid's behaving abnormally. Let me baffle the magnetometers with the titanium viewer here. Give me just a second.
All right, don't forget to check the negative tachyon pulse system. That sometimes interferes with some kind of shit. Hey, let me see if I can get you on picture here. Let me switch on over.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, look at that big, beautiful Shy Guy. Hey, Shy Guy.
Oh, hey, there I am.
All right, player. All right. Now, mine still looks kind of shitty. Hey, Jonesy, what you got going on over there?
And everything's all broken.
It's all broken.
We ain't heard that one before.
All right.
One more wormhole. That's all it was.
There's one more wormhole.
What's that put you up to now? About a baker's dozen?
They're gonna think of is
About
Jonesy,
a baker's half dozen, if you ask me.
Jackass Jonesy. That's all they're gonna say. Jackass Jonesy.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna click on. I'm gonna see if I can get some kind of image over there for Jonesy.
Just fix this right here. See if this will work. Oh Jesus Christ!
Well, I ain't got much coming through, but Jonesy.
Yeah, what we said. You either pulling those winning pots or you ain't bringing home the credits.
I think Jonesy's damn near about to have a nervous breakdown back there. Shy Guy.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
Certainly won't be the last either.
Hey, Jonesy, check your secondary transference index.
I know he ain't no daisy. He's just a little high strung.
Hold on. Well,
oh.
Hang on there.
Oh.
Maybe check your binaural field capacitor.
This done.
Come on.
Am I coming in?
Come on now.
Hey, I hear something.
Hey.
You're coming in? Okay.
You're coming in great, loud and clear, man.
I got it. All right.
Oh, you got it. All right, shooter, you got it.
Undid it. All right. Okay.
Having a bit of a rough go back there, ain't you?
Yeah, I do. You know, usually I just do through a couple wormholes, but with the topics we're talking about today, I figured one extra wormhole wouldn't make that big of a difference, but you know, apparently
better to have and not need. Know what I mean?
I guess so. Let me check my feed. Let me make sure. I still got a little bit of static. Let me try something. Hey, it works. I'm a goddamn. Coming in loud and clear and crystal crisp. Man, I forget what my words are.
That'll happen.
Sometimes. I know that happens to you a lot, Shy Guy.
Yeah, sometimes you vocabulate, and sometimes you can't. That's what my mom
ain't that the truth, player? Well, all right. I guess we'll just get right into it. Howdy, y'all. My name is Buck Ruckus. Welcome to Space Truckin' with Buck Ruckus. I believe this is our inaugural broadcast into Earth 420.69 timeline.
Hell yeah.
And tonight's topic is going to be aliens. Now, I ain't talking about alien immigration into the Federation, other life forms immigrating into our society. I'm all cool with that. I'm talking about ancient cryptid aliens from about a millennia ago. Y'all ready to put the hammer down?
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get right into it.
Today, are we talking about the chupacabras?
Well, it's the predator, but
yeah,
we might touch a couple chupacabras here and there. Who knows? All right, shooter, let's get after it.
Welcome to Space Truckin' with Buck Ruckus.
All right, shooter, you got it. And we're back. Now.
Hell, I like that. That was sharp as hell, man.
Man, I like that one a lot, too. We might have to play that a few more times before this episode's over. Yeah. We got that completed just under the wire. All right, now. Are y'all ready to get in to the ancient cryptid, the Predator?
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
I think we're good. I think I'm good.
I hope so. So our story starts about 20 or so years after man conquered the moon. A ragtag group of misfits was employed by the U.S. government to complete a hostage rescue mission deep in the jungle. Or so they thought. Our reference material for this story is about a few dozen info sites on the HoloNet, HamNet, EarthNet, and MarsNet, as well as an old, dusty, ancient VHS tape that old Bucky Rucky was able to score at a flea market in the belt some time ago. I can neither confirm nor deny that this space trucker deals in, what's the best way to put this, alternative markets. Now, it's uncertain if this ancient scrolling VHS tape is based in truth, but what we do know for certain is that it spiraled out into the zeitgeist, possibly altering human thought for centuries and opening their minds to the idea of alien cryptids.
Hey, you've been using that word of the day calendar I got you.
Yeah, I sure have, Shy Guy.
All right.
That was a great Thunder in Paradise gift that you got me.
Worth every penny.
All right, and boys, let me tell you, this story has about half a dozen twists and turns. A lot of what I'm going to tell you might sound unimportant, but every detail in this tale of blood, guts, and gore makes it pay off beautifully in the end. So without further ado, let's dig in to the ancient alien cryptid, the Predator. So like I said, it was about 20 years after Buzz Lightyear Aldrin and Lance Limbarm conquered the moon, just to give a reference point for how old this story is. A soldier of fortune by the name of Dutch is hired by the U.S. government to rescue a group of politicians who crash landed deep in the Guatemalan jungle. Now, Dutch is a brick shithouse amongst other brick shithouses. Under his command were 5 other single-name mercenaries, each with their own specialty. I'll just list them off real quick here, but there's only about 2 or 3 main players in this story. But we got Dutch, Hawkins, Poncho, Billy, Mac, and Dylan. The story opens as this squad of gun-toting mercenaries lands at a military outpost outside the jungle. Dutch emerges from that chopper and walks directly into the briefing room to get information about his mission. Unbeknownst to him, his old buddy Dylan, a former comrade turned CIA spook. See, the CIA is like an old 1,000 years ago secret police that certain places had in the world back on Earth.
What's that stand for?
You know, there's no way to really tell. We only got our best guess. I'm not really good at acronyms. I think that's H. Jones' specialty there. Jonesy, what do you think CIA stands for?
Now, it's been a while since I've looked into my my records, but if I had to make a guess, criminal intelligence, a gremlinancy.
A gremlinancy?
It's an old Earth term. You probably won't find it in no dictionarium, but you know. If I had to guess.
I think it stands for can't investigate assholes.
That sounds more like it. That's
yeah,
a good
sure
one there.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, they must be still around today.
So this former comrade turned CIA spook is waiting for him, and thus initiates the handshake that shooketh the eartheth. As it turns out, the politicians in the helicopter have been kidnapped by a group of rebels. The mission is cut and dry, as Dylan says. Quote, simple setup, 1-day operation. We pick up their trail at the chopper, run them down, grab those hostages, and bounce back across the border before anybody knew we were there.
Yeah, see, this is why I bounced my signal. I bounced that bad boy. I bounced that sucker all over the damn sector. Don't know who's watching till you're neck deep in some unconstitutous tracing.
You hadn't been there once or twice.
I mean, you mentioned we're transmitting through like 6 or 7 different wormholes. I think you're bouncing off about like what, half a dozen gas giants and dwarf planets and all sorts of shit, right?
I don't like to say, but yeah, sure.
Fair enough. Man wants to keep his. Yeah, he wants to keep his secrets. Let me tell you. So our mercenaries drop into the jungle and make their way to the chopper crash. Everything's going according to plan. And just to give you perspective on how remote and thick this jungle is, and that's thick with 2 C's, by the way, the chopper that crashed never even touched the ground. Its remains were tangled in caught in the thick 2 C's again, vines and branches in the canopy. One of Dutch's crew is accompanied by Dylan, the CIA spook, as they climb the jungle to inspect the downed chopper. Turns out each pilot got capped right in the head, execution style. And that's some cold shit to happen to a son of a bitch. This marks our first twist of the story behind the Predator cryptid. It's reported that this chopper was no ordinary diplomatic shuttle, you see. This aircraft appeared to be used for surveillance. And it was taken out with, at the time, high-tech heat-seeking missiles, something those rebels shouldn't have had available. You see, old government been all clandestine since ancient time. They watch a shooter. Just hope they don't take a peek at Shy Guy's browsing history. Am I right, Shy Guy?
Hey, now, come on. Look, me and Jones been handling it, man. He's got me set up on some of them wormhole jumps so I can look at my chili recipes in peace.
I got him going through a wormhole plus a quasar and then another wormhole.
I don't want anybody to know what I'm cooking up till I'm done cooking it up. You know what I mean?
That's your constitutional right.
That's right. Chili recipes. I swear. All right, let's get back into it. Now, you see, Dutch felt the tension between him and his old buddy, Dylan. In fact, Dylan made the passing remark that these rebels were getting better equipped every day. But Dutch is a professional, so he continued on. Now, Billy, one of Dutch's finest soldiers, had a knack for being able to track. He reported to Dutch shortly after they arrived at that chopper to alert him that 12 guerrillas had taken the hostages. But there was something else. See, 6 men in U.S. Army issue boots had come in from the north and followed the guerrillas.
I hear them's with some good boots. They got the holes on the sides. It keeps the irradiated jungle mud from turning your toes into mystery meatloaf.
Right in. Oh hell! Hang on. Let's go on my meatloaf short list here. Irrigated jungle mud foot rot. I'm pretty sure I tasted that once or twice. I may try that out next week.
Shy Guy, you ain't got nothing but an adventurous palate, to say the least.
You only live once, man. Know what I mean?
I suppose that's right. You see, Dutch knew Dylan was up to something, but he also understood that there was nothing he could do about it. The mission had come too far, and there were still hostages to rescue. A while later in their trek, something caught the corner of Billy's eye. Now, this cat ain't no stranger to the wild. We can tell he's seen more than his fair share of combat and brutality, and it appears he has a sixth sense to catch the smallest of details. He notices something off in the trees, so he climbs his way up to take a closer look. And as he's digging through the branches and the leaves, he comes face to face with something the likes of which he'd never seen. So he makes it through, and he comes face to face with 3 men who've been skinned and strung up by their ankles. In a panic, he backs away quicker than Shiler when one of Miss Sallie Mae's girls flirts with him. Am I right, Shy Guy?
Hey now, come on. It ain't like that. I told you I had an emergency jettison to make, and I was pushing cloth.
To be fair to that, sometimes Sallie Mae's girls give me the airlock spins. Like looking into a vibrating mirror.
Yeah, that'll happen.
I guess that'll happen. So as it turns out, based on the U.S. Army issued dog tags, these were some of the Americans that were followed by the guerrillas. Not only that, but Dutch knew these men personally. Now, Dutch grills Dylan, but to no avail. It said that Billy, tracking like he'd do, was able to determine that these men suddenly came to a stop, fired like hell in all directions, and disappeared. No enemy casings, no enemy tracks. And the Americans' tracks were stopped dead at that spot. Now, let me tell you, that's enough right there to make the little hairs on the back of Bucky Rucky's neck stand straight up. That's some spooky dooky shit, brother. Now, we don't know exactly why, but even with all this spooky dooky shit, Dutch refuses to turn back. He orders that the men continue tracking the rebels. Now, Mac, a stoic man of few words, looks over at Blaine, who stands as tall as a 6'6" redwood tree, and says, "Time to let old Painless out of the bag." Blaine, The giant that he was then rips open a canvas bag, unleashing a multi-barreled rotating chain gun, which for the time of this legend was heavy machinery. Heavier than old Shy Guy after he spends a 3-day week in the Big Mama Bodeans. Am I right, Shy Guy?
Shit. I always said I came from the dense side of the family.
Man, ain't that the truth? Now, as they continue to hoof it through the jungle, around every branch, every treetop, just outside of their periphery, the predator is silently watching them, studying them, hunting them. Now, it's said in this story that there's a moment when Dylan, the CIA spook, is traversing the side of a steep hill. His foot slips and he knocks the log down the hill, making the jungle light up with all the sounds of all the sorts of the creatures and critters that inhabit that jungle. He stops dead in his tracks. He's wide-eyed, frozen stiff. He collects himself and begins to move forward, only to find Mac inches away from his face. And in a low whisper, Mac says, quote, we got this in a quote in the writings about this old legend. You ghosted us, motherfucker. I don't care who you are back in the world. You give away our position again and I'll bleed you quiet and leave your fucking ass right here. Got it? Now, ain't that some cold shit to say to a motherfucker?
I wouldn't want to hear that.
Oh man, me neither.
That's
Even
good.
that makes
Sound like my mama.
that does sound like your mama. Come to think of it, Shy Guy. She is a... Well, I
She
feel
can be
like-
a severe woman.
I feel like I have to say that she's a saint, otherwise she'll
She's a
appear out of
damn-
the warp and God knows
She's
what'll
a
happen.
Venusian peach, but she can get a little, intense.
That's right. Maybe that explains why you are the way you are, Shy Guy.
Well,
Now, it's only a little bit more of a trek until they find the rebel camp. Dutch looks it over and watches as they execute one of the hostages. With a quick look back to his crew, he gives the signal to move, and they all go to work. Silently, these men approach the camp, disarming landmines and taking out guards smoother than one of Shy Guy's detox dumps. Am I right, Shy Guy?
hey man, current record is 32 pounds of partially digested Venusian rad tail and reconstituted zero-G ice cream.
That's a lot, man.
Well, we got to pump them rookie numbers up. We're working on it.
Now, I know we truck together, Shy Guy, and you keep the engines running, but I got to tell you, we got to do something about your diet every now and then.
Hey man,
It's stinking up the
we got
joint
here for
out
these
here.
long hauls. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Actually,
Gonna
let me
have
take a
to
look at
wait.
something. All right, everything looks good.
Gonna have to wait till after he tries his short list of meatloafs. It sounds like.
Yeah. Shy Guy do love that meatloaf down at Miss
Oh,
Sallie
he
Mae's.
I mean, we all do. To be fair.
To be fair, we all do love that meatloaf. Now, this is where Dutch pulls off a maneuver that's way out of left field. It shows his ability to improvise. He spots a truck being used as a generator. He approaches, throws a satchel of old C4 explosives into the bed, and lifts the truck with his hands off of the wooden blocks that's holding it up, and sets that sumbitch on the ground so it goes flying into the middle of the camp. The explosion sets off the go point for Dutch's crew to light them up and let them have it. Grenades flying from every angle. A cloud of bullets taking out rebel after rebel. People swinging from the chandeliers. This camp lights up like Space 4th of July shooter. Now, Blaine saves Mac's life by shooting a rebel in the treetop so hard that he catches fire and explodes when he hits the ground. There's even a moment, just to let you know what kind of guy Dutch is. He walks into a hut, throws a big-ass Bowie knife into a guy's chest, affixing him to the wall behind him, then says, quote, "Stick around," to the poor bastard. This happens just before... That's some cold shit. This guy knows
good,
what he's
man.
about. This
You
happens
practice that beforehand.
I mean, he's got to. That ain't no luck shot. It's a trick shot, but that ain't no luck shot. That ain't the first time. That ain't his first rodeo.
That's premeditated.
That's right.
What he said.
This happens just before he breaks down a wall with one swift kick, spots two rebels, and says, quote, "Knock, knock," before filling full lev. This bastard is stone cold.
He's off the chain, man.
Off
That's
the chain.
right.
Hell, even Billy sets a dude on fire with his bullets. And I don't mean this as an exaggeration. This is the way it's told in the story and shown in the few images that we have. Fuckers got burnt. As the bullets died down, the team regrouped, captured their own hostage, a young woman named Anna, and made their way to the egress point. All the while, the predator's still watching, studying, hunting. In fact, some of the visual representations we have, it's shown that the predator sees in thermal vision. We can see through the eyes of the predator as he examines the still warm dead bodies at the camp as if he's sizing up the fighting strength of his newly found prey.
Those Ronian vent weasels, they do that too. They got they got that heat sense. Though they let skin you alive more cost you a ton of credits when they get shot and your thirster exhaust.
Yeah, but they some good eating when the jerky replicator's on the fritz.
Man, I'm thinking we all might need to find some new hobbies of some of this shit we got going on. But anyway, Dutch and his merry band of mercs were keeping a watchful eye on the surroundings as they hoofed it back to the other side of the border. They continued for what seems like an eternity before taking a break to catch their breath and take a drink of water. As it's told, Mac and Blaine exchange a few words over sips from a flask of booze. Mac says, quote, buddy, I've seen some badass bush before, man, but nothing like this. Blaine responds, quote, I hear you. This shit's something. Makes Cambodia look like Kansas, end quote. Mac hands Blaine the flask. Hey, que pasa, amigo? A little taste of home. Now, I'm not sure where Cambodia or Kansas are, but we can determine that they're two silly places somewhere back in ancient times.
They sound pretty ridiculous.
I mean, Cambodia sounds alright, but who the hell names a place Kansas?
It's got ass in the name.
It's got ass in the
Yeah.
name.
Hey, where are you from? I'm from Kansas.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, ass. Kansas ass.
It's a can
Cans
of
of
ass
ass?
out there in Kansas.
Big old can of ass. Maybe that's where the whoop ass cans came from.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm
Maybe
thinking
that
about
is.
it.
I'll have to look into that.
I think old Shy Guy's on to something right now.
I don't remember when they started making them, but hell, maybe it was way back then.
Like open up a can of ass?
Well,
Like a can? Yeah.
Can of Kansas.
Whoop ass. I know they had different flavors: can of whoop ass, can of big ass, can of lard ass.
Right. It's a lot of different asses and cans and accoutrement. Let's get back into it, boys.
Oh yeah.
Now, Blaine, his last response to Mac is, quote, you lose it here, you're in a world of hurt, end quote.
$50 million.
As if Blaine tapped into some kind of collective unconsciousness and foreshadowed what was about to happen.
$50 million.
Shortly after they put the hammer down, with Billy on point, he raises a fist to call for a full spot. I'm not. Old Bucky Ruckus is going to take a take two on that one real quick.
Hey, it happens, man.
Yeah, it sure do.
Hey, I just want to let you know, man, we're lighting up on the waves here.
You know, I see that. We're getting a lot of attention. This new timeline that we're working with seems to be paying off pretty well. Maybe old Bucky Rucky. Yeah, maybe Pater, maybe Bucky Rucky can put his space trucking history behind him at some point. Well, I mean, come on, Shy Guy. We both know that's a joke. I don't think this space truck ever going to stop trucking.
Don't
I
scare
can't
me
leave you
like that,
behind.
I get worried.
Yeah, I know. I know you do.
I worry for you too, there, Shy Guy.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. He may not want people to know this, but Shy Guy's a real cuddle bear. So shortly after they put the hammer down with Billy on point, he raises his fist to call for a full stop. Quietly, this bloodhound of a man looks up into the eyes of a... Man, old Buck Ruckus can't get past this paragraph. Quietly, this bloodhound of a man looks up into the trees, silently gazing off in the distance. Dutch approaches, and he and Billy exchange words. Billy knows there's something in those trees. It's like his spirit knew it was being watched, but his eyes couldn't make it out. You see, this is so long ago, folks didn't know about adaptive camouflage, adaptive cloaking technology, a technology the Predator had. But it's oddly peculiar how Billy stared directly into the eyes of his demise without realizing.
You know, it kind of reminds me of the last time I was out at Cousin Leron's. You know, you got that place out there by Carlsbad?
Yeah?
Yeah, so anyway, we was out there on the porch just talking about cars and dreaming about women. Polishing off a case of that Frio beer when the damn chupacabras start closing in on us.
Oh, damn.
Man, that's rough.
I mean, it's all right, though. We just watched them all dive headfirst into the perimeter-wide chupa zapper and then took them all in and had a big old time. It was the best Thanksgiving ever.
I gotta tell you, Shy Guy, I need to join you on some of these Thanksgivings. You guys getting some real adventures out there.
We'll bring you down there one
Carl,
time, man. It's a good old time.
So in this brief respite, Anna, you know, the prisoner they's escorting, she has a wild look in her eye, like she's seen the devil herself. She takes a stick and cracks it across the face of Hawkins and makes a run for it. Hawkins catches up and tackles her. As he's about ready to drag her back, he can see a look of abject terror in her eyes. He hesitates only a moment before the telltale growl of the predator can be heard. And I think I got that hooked up right here. Let's see. That ain't it. That ain't it. There it is right there. Telltale growl of the predator can be heard.
I'll be a son of a bitch.
As he turns his head and sees a ghost charging right at him. With one swipe of his wrist blades, the predator is taking out the first of his prey. See, the predator's a hunter and an opportunist. You're straight too far away from the group. He'll grab you quicker than Shy Guy on them yeast rolls at buffet night at Big Mama Bodean's. Am I right, Shy Guy?
Look, man, the sign said all you can eat, all right? Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Know what I mean?
I guess he's asking for it when Shy Guy comes to town.
It's always good, though.
I do love me some yeast rolls, and I love Big Mama Bodean's. I hope we get to talk to her later.
Yeah, me too.
I bet you do, Shy Guy.
Come on now.
Now, Poncho's the first on the scene. He sees a bloody Anna, but no Hawkins in sight. He follows a trail of blood into the bush, but the predator has already claimed his trophy. Nothing but a pile of entrails were left on the ground. It said that when Dutch arrived on the scene, he and Poncho exchanged words. Poncho says, quote, "Major, you better come take a look at this." Dutch responds, "Did you find Hawkins?" Poncho, with a whimper in his voice, says, "I can't tell."
No.
That was a good whimper sound you made there. That's good.
Oh, thank you. You can't tell, Jones. There's nothing but a greasy spot left on the ground, man. That's some rough shit.
I like the name Poncho. I hope it didn't take Poncho. Anyway, anyway.
Well, we'll see how the story plays out for you, Jonesy. Now, it's at this point we see why Major Dutch is the leader. He's spooked but calm. He takes in his surroundings. He improvises. When he looks at the pile of goo that used to be his best friend, he don't lose his cool. When Anna is grilled for information on what happened, it said in the story that her words were, quote, and this is a direct quote, "The jungle just came alive and took him. Poor bastard got took by the predator. And that ain't no pleasant way of going out. And you know he done already been trophified by the predator. Am I right, guys?"
Yeah, it reminds me of our last fishing trip. Although, I mean, hell. Is that what we've been doing to the void bass?
Now, predator's a hunter, and last I checked, it ain't hunting if you're fishing, Shy Guy. I think we're okay.
Well, clearly you ain't been to Carlsbad.
Now
Me
you
and
need to
Leroy
find me
went
out.
one day.
Gotta get me out there one of these days. So Dutch and his crew spread out to find Hawkins' body, and with this, the predator gets to work, hiding, studying, hunting. Blaine strikes out on his own, old painless in his hands, scanning the jungle for threats. This poor son of a bitch mistakes a critter for a rebel, and upon realizing what he's looking at, he turns around, takes about 2 steps, and he's shot through the chest from Predator's trademark shoulder cannon, leaving a hole about the size of Shy Guy's planetoid size of a head. Am I right, Shy Guy?
You know, my mama ain't been right since. She said there must have been a damn bowling ball in the family tree somewhere, or like a Like a damn hippopotamus. Them swampy bastards with the big old chompers that like to eat the marbles.
Man, that's a rough word, and I'm glad you made it through.
I think the proper phraseology is hiphthalmologist.
Hip to be squareologist.
Hip to be squareologist? Is that?
You know what? That's pretty close.
All right.
I mean, it sounds good to me.
We're doing good. Okay.
I kind of like that. Hip to be squareotomist.
See, I got that word day calendar too.
We all ought to be hip to be squareotomists. Am I right?
You check in.
Way ahead.
Nope.
Can we check back in on Poncho?
Oh, don't worry. Or maybe you might want to worry. But we'll see where Poncho's at.
Oh, damn it.
You're going to have to learn like everybody else out there in Earth 420.69 and all the other timelines that we're in right now. So this statue of a man, Blaine, with old Painless, I mean, he died without even getting a shot off. Mac, hearing the cannon, rushes to his comrade's aid, only to find him stone dead on the ground. He looks up for enemies and sees only what can be described as a phantom with yellow pulsing eyes. He lets out a burst of profanities as he fires blindly into the jungle with his machine gun. It said that when he ran out of ammo, he just grabbed old Painless off the ground, brother, still shouting, still hollering, and swept the jungle left to right, cutting down trees and brush in front of him with a swarm of bullets. Now, he's shortly joined by the rest of the squad, and they continue a volley of lead down range. Legend has it that after all was said and done and every bullet left their barrels, the only sound that could be heard was the spinning of old Painless as Mac couldn't take his finger off the trigger. They all snap out of their bullet rage. Excuse me, old Buck got some gas up here in his chest. They all snap out of their Shy Guy, you know what I'm talking about. Am I right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Better out than in.
That's right. They all snap out of their bullet rage. It said when asked, Matt couldn't describe what he saw. He just kept saying, I saw it. I saw it, god damn it. Now, it might be hard for us modern types to conceptualize, but think about it. This is a time before people knew life existed off planet. How could a feller see a warp in the air kill his buddy and explain that to anybody? You just can't.
Just can't.
You just can't. The only thing that was left behind by the predator was a splatter of glowing neon green blood on a leaf that was spotted by Anna, the prisoner. Both the predator and Dutch's men hunkered down and licked their wounds for the night. Now, in the book, it said that during that night, after they'd all gone to sleep, Predator dropped a giant wild boar about the size of Shy Guy. Am I right, Shy Guy? Dropped right into the camp.
Well, you know, Daddy always said he couldn't tell me apart from the hogs.
I believe him. So the Predator dropped this boar in the camp to cause a distraction as Dutch's crew awoke in a fright and dealt with the boar. They noticed that Blaine's body had disappeared. With 2 people dead and both bodies gone, we're witnessing each member of the team quickly start to fall into madness. And I don't blame him. This is some spooky dooky shit out there deep in the Guatemalan jungle. I don't want to be out there now. I'd rather be up here in space, man. I'd rather be call sign thunder in the good shit paradise like I am every day of my life.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Now, come morning, there was no denying that these fellers were up against something otherworldly. Dutch grills Anna, who finally reveals what she saw. The glow-in-the-dark blood on the leaf and how it, quote, it blends in like a chameleon using the jungle. And that's an important line, using the jungle. That's going to come into play a little bit later. Anna continues to say that when the big man died, and that's what she called Blaine, the big man, they must have wounded it, referring to the predator. Dutch imparts one line of wisdom that would echo throughout history. It's written in the word, man, in the legend. Quote, if it bleeds, we can kill it. And I tell you,
we live up to that to these days.
I tell you what, man, that's just about one true. That's just about true for anything this space trucker has ever encountered in his travels. Now, most of Dylan's. Go ahead, Jonesy.
That's a hell of a phrase. I might get that. I might stop off, get that painted on the side of my ship.
I thought you didn't want no identifying marks.
I mean, I'll make an exception. That's some cold shit.
That's a bit of a warning, huh?
That's right. That's an identifying mark that can deter those that might want to follow old Jonesy out there in his travels. Now, much to Dylan's objection, Dutch orders that they make a stand. Though they're only 10 to 12 miles away from the evac zone. See, Dutch understands that small trek might as well be halfway across the galaxy. Ain't no way Predator will let them make it that far. So they begin to set a defensible position, using the jungle the best way they know how. I'm talking spike traps, net traps, landmines. I mean, that ain't jungle, but that's still something. Big swinging log traps that come down from the sky and throw you halfway across the world.
You know, that reminds me of spending summers out at old Uncle Slayton's place.
Is that right?
Yeah, every morning he'd make us run that obstacle course he built back in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Always talking about being ready for the inevitable, whatever that means.
This is true.
Used to catch him up in sitting up in the trees in that old ghillie suit he put together, just watching us. That cigar burning bright against the backdrop of the woods. Talking about.
Hey, shy guy, where'd you go? Hey, come on back, shy guy. Come on back.
Yeah. You know, ain't nothing like a live fire drill. Know what I mean?
I think I do.
Don't know what you mean. Ain't nothing like it.
We
You
might
know
be
you're
able to-
alive.
Hey, you know what? It's good for the kids too. We might learn about that a little bit later with shoots and putt driving the shooting range.
I can't damn wait. I love that place. I mean, not that I go there or not that I just heard. It sounds good.
Yeah, you might love the place, but you would never be spotted there as a regular, is what you're saying.
I can neither confirm to that fact nor deny to that fact.
Well, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with their traps set, they lie in wait. And as they've settled in, Anna reveals further that when she was a child, she was told stories about, quote, the demon who made trophies of men. So in this legend of the ancient alien cryptid, the Predator, it refers back to previous encounters with the Predator. We don't know how long this sumbitch's been coming over to Earth and hunting us and making trophies out of our skulls.
That's some spooky shit, man.
Spooky
So
dudes.
wait a minute. So, like with the chupacabras, they're just wild pains in the ass. But
I mean, everybody
so
knows Chupacabra.
So this predator though, so it treats us like we would treat the chupacabra.
Well, I didn't hear about no perimeter wide chupa zapper in this story. Must have been before those were invented.
Maybe.
The Chupacabra or Chupazapper?
Chupa zapper.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen a tale about a Chupacabra or two back in back about the time of '69. When man conquered the moon. I think some Chupacabras existed back then. Maybe they were
Were they on the
here
moon?
and there. Were they on the moon?
Yeah.
I might have read a text that said that the Chupacabra came from the moon as a retaliation of Earth sending a few of its men up there to conquer it.
I guess they're big cheese fans up there.
Oh man, that story is so convoluted with all sorts of types of different cheeses from different places, and that's something we'll have to get into maybe a little bit later tonight.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I definitely want to chit chat about that, but I really want to make sure Poncho's good.
Well, let's put the hammer down and get back into it. So Dutch, growing impatient, pulls off one hell of a bluff. And this is after they'd set up all them traps, you see. I'm talking it's a bluff like going all in with a pair of threes, man. You see, this is a moment where we see just how formidable Dutch actually is. He emerges from his little hidey hole into the trap that they had laid, almost triggering 2 or 3 different tripwires himself. And he stands still, waiting for the Predator to react. Stands there looking out into the canopy, watching for the slightest movement in the trees. After a moment, he gives up, turns around, takes only about half a step before that net trap activates and flies into the air right in front of him. The jungle lights up as Dutch and his crew send a volley of bullets and grenades at the trap, firing at an invisible enemy. The predator responds to the blast from his shoulder cannon, triggering a swinging log trap that rams into Poncho, crushing him half to death. I'm sorry, Jonesy.
Oh, Jesus, no.
Now, John, don't worry. He ain't dead.
Oh.
He's alive. At this point, he's alive.
Okay. At this point, he's alive.
He's alive in this moment in the story.
Okay.
Okay? That make you feel a little bit better?
But, okay.
Okay?
Just stay
Alright,
with
okay.
us, Jonesy. Stay with us. We're going to get through this together.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine. It's cool. It's fine. Keep going.
Now, you see, the predator had somehow triggered that trap from a distance, calling Dutch's bluff. Mac, firing from a prone position, is able to spot the predator's active camouflage. This is the second time he's come eye to eye with the demon who made trophies of men. In a rage, he jumps to his feet and charges off after him, just like Shy Guy hitting the head after head crab ball night at Big Mama Bodean's. Am I right, Shy Guy?
Come on now. It ain't like that. You know, sometimes you got to flush the system for a better intake. Know what I mean?
I think I do. It's because you got to do that here in the good shit paradise about 3 or 4 times a day.
Just got to make sure the pipes are moving. That's all.
I feel you. They see Dylan, the CIA spook, was able to catch a glimpse of the predator as his active camouflage had glitched out. So far, Dylan is the only man in his crew that was able to see the predator's full form. And from what we can determine in the drawings and videos,
Boy, that creeped me the hell out. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I
right
like
now.
that. You like that nuance? That's all Bucky Rucky on the fly, baby, just hitting that
Holy shit.
soundboard. Hell yeah. From what we can determine in the drawings and videos that we've been able to salvage, this cat was crazy looking. Talking about 7.5 feet tall, slimy reptilian skin, and spiny hair that looked like it could sting you about half a dozen times with a single flick. And a plate metal mask that looked, quite honestly, it looks cool as shit. Like, hell, I might have to get and find me a replica of the Predator mask to put on the front of the good shit paradise as a hood ornament. How you feel about that, Shy Guy?
That's pretty cool, man. Maybe you can get him in the old what they call that superhero back in the day, the Heis Man. That pose he would do, you get him right there, chromed out on the front of the ship.
Yeah, that
That'd be all right.
ancient superhero, the highest man.
The Heis Man.
Yeah.
Throwing them nuclear footballs.
When them nuclear footballs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got that pose though. That pose. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know if I can do it real good, but it's pretty cool if you look it up.
I might have to look that up later. So according to the legend, Dylan tells Dutch to head for the chopper before charging off to find Mac. Dylan stops to scan his surroundings as a hidden Mac pulls him into some brush. He points out the predator's location to Dylan. They exchange a few words briefly. They both have a score to settle. Dylan tells Mac to set up close by and he'll flush a predator towards him. They proceed to make the mistake that's made in just about every goddamn horror movie. I mean, you never split up. We've known about this for a millennia or two. Ain't nothing good gonna happen when you split up. But I guess
Day one stuff.
Day one shit right there, shy guy. I guess back in those times, they're maybe a little bit dumber than us intellectuals in this modern era that we live in currently.
Yeah, that's why when you're hunting the chupacabras, though they are pretty stupid, because they'll just fall into shit. But that's why even with them, you line up in behind the chupa zapper.
Yeah.
You don't split off and walk in front of the damn thing.
That's right. Work harder, or no, not harder. Work smarter, not harder. That's the way it goes.
I'm starting to get concerned about how in the hell anybody from that timeline ever figured out how to hold their peace to take a piss.
Man, I feel you. I mean, there's some artist renderings here that Mac in particular is taking a little razor blade. Back when we had to use razor blades for normal everyday use to shave our beard hairs.
Yeah.
And he ain't got a single follicle on his face, and he's just shaving away. I guess he's trying to scrape off that top layer of skin. I don't know. Maybe he liked to burn or something. Maybe
it's like them lizards what live in the jungle and they throw their skin off. Maybe he's like shaving off that layer to, expose a newly formed protective layer of skin and shell and cotton and all that.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a long time ago. I don't know how people were built back then.
Well, that might have been the case.
They're built kind of stupid, sounds like.
Primitives.
Am I right? That might have been the case, but trying to like molt his skin to get a more armor. But as it's told, and follow me along here, Mac was repositioning to get a better angle on the predator. And as he's crawling, he spots 3 little red dots on his arm, making a triangle-type figuration. Mac, dumbfounded, watches these 3 little dots slowly make their way up to his arm. Uh-oh. We don't know why. I mean, we don't know if he's frozen in fear or just a little slow. But he sits there as they take their time and make their way all the way to his forehead. And with that signature sound of the predator's shoulder cannon, Mac's life ends just as swiftly as his head explodes.
God damn!
Jesus Christ!
That's some heavy stuff we're getting into. This legend, it's been told for 1,000 years, maybe even more, and there's a reason for it. This is a compelling story.
I don't know how my ancestors woke up in the morning and didn't just fall off a damn cliff or something. They just stupid as hell.
Right. I feel you. Now,
I don't sit there while the lights are coming up. I don't understand. What do you think it was? Christmas time?
Maybe he'd never seen a laser before.
Well,
1,000 years ago, we don't know exactly what kind of tech they had back then, but maybe he'd never seen a laser before.
If you know anything about lasers in the ancient times, give us a holler up here at Space Truckin.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'd love to hear all about it. So Mac's life ends swiftly as his head explodes. Just like Shy Guy's guts that time we was making the Kessel run while our biojettison rig was on the fritz. Am I right, Shy Guy?
Hey, man. Them vent rats is good, but boy, are they filling.
I think they're a little bit more than filling. I think they tear your guts up.
Well, yeah, you fill them up, then clean you out, and you're good to go.
Now, wait, Shy Guy, now when you eat the vent rats, are you making sure you got to put them in some acid first, and you got to get that layer of just pure toxin off? Because if you take it and then you fricassee it, if you don't get that layer off, it will just like a nuclear bomb just rip right through you.
Right? Yeah. Well, see, here's what you do. Once you catch them, and you whack them over the head with the whoop ass stick, then you get them on your skewer there. And what I've been doing here is kind of a space trucking special secret recipe here. You roast them inside the auxiliary phase grid, right? Kind of give them a good turn, get them exposed to that central radiation variance capacitor. And then when they get nice and crispy, and you want them glowing, but not too much, because you don't want to be, like a damn lighthouse from the inside going out. You know what I mean? You want them glowing just enough. That's how you know they're good and done and ready to go, man.
I mean, I haven't really heard about it that way. I'm getting genuinely concerned that your insides might just turn into its own black hole.
I see, Shy Guy. I think we've found the non-space trucker of the group here.
He don't know. And look, man, it's okay.
Now, listen, sometimes Now, Shy Guy, I'll be the first to admit, sometimes he makes some stuff back there in the galley that I don't think old Bucky Rucky can stomach that well, but, most of the time it's pretty good stuff, man. It may be a little bit wild to those that live planet side elsewhere, but out here in the void, man, out here in space, you gotta eat what you can find, and there ain't much out here sometimes.
Sometimes.
That's right. So let's get back into it. So now don't forget that Dylan is still out there trying to work with Mac. Dylan hears the cannon and moves to go check on Mac. He's making his way through the bush, and to his horror, he sees Mac's lifeless body, head swung back, big wide dead eyes staring directly at him. Just like them big doe eyes Shiler gets when he sees Miss Sallie Mae at Big Mama Bodean's diner refueling station. Am I right, Shy Guy?
Hey man, come on now. We're just trying to have a good time here. You know, ain't no big
I
deal.
mean, we're trying to have a real good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dylan swings his gun around and looks behind him. Here's my plate. Looks behind. The trees are all tilted. He's scanning for any sign of the predator. He can hear the signature growl on the wind. We can determine through the legend as it's written that Dylan is in the midst of realizing his fate. Keep in mind that this whole time Dylan has been arguing with Dutch, saying things like, quote, it's a psych job, or only 2 or 3 men at the most. His unwillingness to see the forest through the trees, as it were, has led him here. A mano-a-mano fight to the finish with the predator. Frozen still, just scanning the trees, Dylan sees a predator's eyes shine. Standing tall on a twisted branch. With a fire in his eyes, he lifts his gun. Just as he squeezes the trigger, the predator fires his shoulder cannon, striking Dylan's arm clean off.
Oh,
Shit. Damn.
Hot damn! His arm falls to the ground, still squeezing that trigger as if to show that any attempt to kill the predator is futile at best. With a scream, Dylan turns to see the predator is charging his flank. Still cloaked, Dylan brings his second gun into his offhand as the predator unleashes his wrist blades.
That's a tough motherfucker.
He's a tough motherfucker, tough son
You're
of a
gonna get
bitch.
your arm blown off and keep going with the second arm.
Hey man, that's just the way some people were back then, man. It was a
What, you
harder
tied
life.
off, put a big cork in there. I mean,
Put a big pork in his dead arm.
yeah.
to be fair, they may also have been just so stupid that, you know, they didn't really register much pain like, you know, we can.
Well, maybe. Maybe. If you know anything about the primitive pain receptors of our ancient ancestors, give us a call.
Yeah, anybody from give or take 100 years, around 69. You know, when man conquered the moon.
That's right.
That's right. So Dylan thrusts his gun in front of him and squeezes the trigger, but he's a split second too late. You see. The predator pulls off an uppercut stab, lifting Dylan off the ground. Now, it's said that his screams echoed through that jungle loud and far enough that those who remained in Dutch's crew heard it, as if they were miles away. Oh, excuse me. All right, Bucky Rucky, take 2 on this line right here.
All right. Here we go.
All right, here we go. All right, shooter.
You got it, shooter. Come on.
It's said that his screams echoed through that jungle loud and far enough that those who remained in Dutch's crew heard it as they were miles away. They stopped, looked towards the wind as they heard their comrade fall predator to the victim.
Hang on now.
Hang on.
Where are you going? Comrade did what now?
Dutch and his crew stopped, looked towards the wind as they heard their comrade fall victim to the predator.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
That's interference.
I see. And that's where we'll pick up next week in part 2 of the ancient alien cryptid, the Predator.
Hot damn, there we go.
Tell you what, man,
That had highs, that had lows.
that's intense.
Poncho's still okay though, right?
Poncho at this part of the story is still alive.
Okay. That's okay. That's
I'll pull an old H. Jonesy here and say that I can neither confirm nor deny that Poncho makes it out alive.
Damn.
I'm just saying. You know.
That's what you call a teaser for next time.
That's a teaser for next time. Will Poncho make it out? It's surprising to me that Poncho, a character that, quite honestly, reviewing the material, I couldn't determine the difference between Poncho and Hawkins until about my second or third examining. That he's getting all the attention from Jonesy on whether he live or die.
Everybody has their favorites, you know.
Get it.
I'm
Dad.
That's true.
He seems like a cool guy. I'd like to find out more about his, shell shedding.
I mean, that's
true.
it's over 1,000 years ago, but you know, I'm intrigued.
You're intrigued? Well, I'm intrigued about opening these phone lines. Everybody call in. Call in with your Predator story if you got one from now, from this timeline, from any timeline. You got the number. You know how to get a hold of us, and we'd love to hear about it. Love to hear about your story about the Predator. But in the meantime, How we feeling right now, gentlemen? In our
I'm good,
inaugural
man. What do you think?
broadcast.
We got to pay some bills or what?
Pay some bills? Not quite yet. We can see if we get a few calls in before we got to pay some bills.
All right. Let's see. Let me take a look at the board here.
Shy Guy, why don't you do that, and I'll hang out here with Jonesy for just a little bit. Now, Jonesy, where did you learn how to manipulate time in the way you do with our broadcast?
You see, I'm matriculaminate the whole thing. It goes this kind of a. I don't want to give away too much, but essentially, you're using a wormhole. You know, you got the events horizon sits. You got the singularity that everything directs into. You got the event horizon where everything just sort of circulates amongst.
Right.
Within that, it's almost like a filter nobody can read in that little circled zone. So as it goes into the singularity, everything's getting scrambled, but it's not losing its identity, so to say. So nobody could take it apart or none of that. But I shoot it through 2-3 of them and. Bang bang boom, bounce off some gas giants. It's classic distance communication.
I see. That's some kind of like quantum entanglement, bing bang boom. Next thing you know, we're at the moon type of thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think you got it. You got your brain wrapped around it.
Shy Guy, how's them phone lines looking?
Hey, I just about to step in and let you know we got a fresh one on the line here.
Oh,
someone I'm real
really?
excited to hear from.
Oh, let's see here. Let's
we
bring this caller on in.
We got Miss Sallie Mae Earline Bodean here talk about. She said she had a run-in with one of them predators a while back.
Hey, Miss Sallie Mae Earline Bodean, you got space trucking with Buck Ruckus, and I hear you got a predator story for us.
Well, sure do. How are y'all?
Oh, I'm doing
we're
mighty
we're
fine.
making it.
I'm doing all right.
Not so bad.
Not so bad at all.
Well,
So
you
tell us
think
about this predator.
I think one must have broke into the diner one time.
No shit.
I mean, I didn't even hear anything at first. You see, I was in the kitchen the whole time making the second batch of meatloaf we sell every Monday night.
God damn, that's some good stuff, man.
I do love that meatloaf at Miss Sallie Mae Earline Bodean's diner.
It
is
sure
good.
is good. So there I was, elbow deep in a vat of ground chuck, when I heard what sounded like a banshee fighting a pack of screech owls. So thinking, what the hell is that? I walked out to see the thing picking at a guy's foot like a chicken wing before starting in on his meatloaf.
Hot damn.
Damn indeed.
I mean, this thing was nasty. Hungry, too. After finishing off that meatloaf, it ain't one of my girls and half the customers she was with.
You don't say that.
Oh, man. I mean, that's
I
classic
wouldn't wanna get in the middle of
predator.
that.
That's a classic predator move right there, I'll tell you. Jonesy, what you think about that?
I mean, this from what you've been telling us from the ancient tales, that sounds pretty suspect. That seems pretty predator.
That's what I'm saying.
So, as I was watching it finish off poor old Hanson's leg, we call him Two Limp Hanson now, it's because the thing ate both his legs. It turned on me,
Damn.
growled, threw a plate at me, like that clicking noise you was playing.
Oh, you mean this noise right here? Let me see if I can cue it up. Ain't that about the creepiest shit you ever heard?
Ain't no good.
Plumb near scared me half to death.
I don't doubt it.
So as I grabbed old Beulah from under the counter, I cocked her and aimed her at the thing, fired off a warning shot. Then, as I stood there, ready to put another one between his eyes, it burped, left a tip, and excused itself out the front door.
I mean, it beats everything I ever seen. Now, what exactly did it look like? Did you get a good look at it?
Well, didn't have time to study his phrenology or nothing. But he was bigger than a damn space squatch and had hair like ropes coming off his head. And when he went to take a bite, every one of his damn teeth was in business for itself.
Oh, man, that's classic.
I sound like a predator. I mean, I don't think I've ever run into one, but I've seen some of the historical tapes.
I mean, don't
Sounds
tell her
right.
now, Shy Guy. Don't tell her I said this, but having a mouthful of teeth and all in business for herself, that does sound like Mama Shy Guy a little bit.
Well, you know.
I mean, this thing was
Hard to
bigger
get the
than
calcium out there in the desert.
This thing was bigger than Mama Bodean's hair at a Sunday social and angrier than a damn space skunk stuck in the spin cycle.
I swear.
And he stank. He stank like a sun-dried warthog. Nothing to buy soap, some hot water, and a gallon of tomato juice wouldn't fix so.
Well, we all been there, right?
I mean, Shy Guy, you sure shit have before. We might need to use this Mama Bodean secret to get that smell off you sometimes.
Well, we
You know
had to
what I
do
mean?
that once or twice back on the farm when the skunks would get stuck in the vents.
Yeah.
So they send me in there crawling through with the catcher net, the snap bag, and the whoop ass stick there.
Right.
And well, I tell you what, sometimes I come out there smelling like the underside of that feeding trough, and I mean, they'd have put me out in the shed for weeks. But then we tried the tomato bath one time, and we did the tomato bath after we got dried off, rinsed off, and everything. They sprayed me down with a bunch of daddy's cologne.
So
It smelled like a skunk getting ready for a hot date. I don't know, man. It didn't really work much, but
Let me
I guess
give you a
the
little
point is
tip.
to mask the scent.
Add a little bit of apple cider vinegar to that water and a little drop of honey, and you'll be good to go.
I see. You know, gray flannel, that cologne can cover a lot of stank, but that was no match for what you got into, Shy Guy.
Well, sometimes you just got to get in there and get it done. Know what I mean?
That I do. All right, Miss Sallie Mae, what else you got for us?
Well, I just wanted to sign off and remind y'all that tonight it's pay crab and wood bass night over at Big Mama Bodean's Diner and Refuelin station.
Ooh,
You're after this,
yeah.
man.
I might have to take me a little detour. I mean, not now, but sometime I'll take a detour and I'll have to stop by over there and give me some head crab and some.
When's the last time you had some head crab there, Jonesy?
Now, you know, I can neither confirm nor deny to that fact. But
Well, yeah. All right, well, I see.
but it's been long enough for me to be craving it again. I'll tell you that.
I hear you. Well, anyway, Miss Sallie Mae, we got to get to getting.
All right,
Guys,
bye,
good.
y'all.
I'm sure we'll
Bye.
hear from you again before the night's
That's
over,
Sallie
Sallie
Mae.
Mae.
See you later. Talk
It's
to you
always a
later.
pleasure hearing from you.
Love you. I mean,
Oh,
so
there
anyway,
you
we
go.
got. Hang on now. We got someone else coming in here. I wanted to talk about. We got what fella say his name was? Oh, we got a veteran. He said he's seen him.
Got a
He
veteran?
said he'd engaged with the predator.
All right, Shy Guy, put him on through, and just for future reference, just back up off that mic just a little. You're coming just a little bit hot.
Well, hot.
Yeah, a little hot.
Time to get going. You know how it is. We got all right, Sergeant Major Jack Canoff. Are you there?
Sergeant Major, you got space trucking with Buck Ruckus. What you got for us tonight?
Hello. Hi, my name is Sergeant Major Jack Hanoff II.
The second.
That is-
Ooh.
May I just say that I thank you for your service and
Thanks. Appreciate it.
everything you do.
Thank you, son, thank you.
But thank you. It is an honor and so forth.
Thank you very much. Now
Well,
that
it's
is
about
Sergeant,
predators, man.
Sergeant Major, the finest galactic federation this side of the Merillion Quadrant. And I must say, Trucker Buck, listening to your show for the past 5 star cycles has been one of the few pleasures me and my men have had while manning the planetary parapets across the sector.
I tell you, it warms my heart knowing that this show reaches those veterans out there, them active duty military men and women and aliens and everybody else in the Federation. Warms a little Bucky Rucky's heart.
That's right. I give you the 2-hand salute to
Thank you.
to you and yours and so forth.
Now, Jonesy,
Well,
give us that
it's not a-
2-hand salute one more time. I missed it.
You know, it's the classic. You bring them both up, and then one at a time you bring them out, and you say, "I thank you for your service" and so forth.
I see. Yeah. Everybody knows that one. I don't know how Bucky Rucky forgot about that.
Yeah, that's in all the manuals.
Right.
So, I'm gonna be honest with you, Trucker Buck. You spend 5 lonely star cycles balls deep in a jungle where literally everything and its mama is trying to kill you, skin you, and eat you. Every sound in the night will put a sinking feeling in your gut worse than finishing off a bucket of Intergalactic Tim's chili about a week past its prime. I'm sure Shy Guy knows that feeling.
Hey,
I'm
man.
sure.
It's fine. Just throw it back into the retriculation matrix. Get it all warmed up. It's nice. It's good. Give it time to mellow. Want the flavors to mellow together.
See, I'm gonna have to try that sometime, cause see, we don't got that fine technology out there in the field.
Oh, well.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta work with what you got there, man. You got your cards dealt to you. You gotta play them out.
You gotta make it last any way that you can.
That's
Now,
right.
I ain't trying to scare you, Trucker Buck, but you used the term legend a couple times. But I seen it. I know I seen it. It ain't no legend. It took 2 of my men. I still think about them. New recruits to the Corps. They were so young, so inexperienced. Nobody knew what we were walking into. One of them we found strung up in his tree. His innards became outards. The other
Innards
one
became outwards.
Yes,
That's
sir.
classic.
Yes,
That's
sir.
classic Predator. I'm hanging
You
on
wanna look
every
at that,
word you're saying, Sergeant Major Jack Anoff.
The other we never even found. We
I
just
don't
heard
doubt
the
it.
scream. I still hear the scream.
Now
Now,
the
you
scream.
listen.
Did it
Yes.
sound anything? Now this might come through a little bit loud. I'll give you 3, 2, 1. It sound anything like this? 3, 2, 1.
Almost identical to that.
I swear we got a live one. We got a live predator. We got 2 of them, Mama Bodean and Sergeant Major Jack Anoff.
I tell you
Please
what, though,
continue.
don't you make the mistake of thinking there's only one of them out there. There's a whole slew of them. Now, don't you let anyone tell you this is a tall tale. It ain't no tale, Trucker Buck. I seen them with my own 2 eyes. So, I'ma leave you with this wise word of wisdom, Trucker Buck. If you ever find yourself leading a squad through an alien hellhole and something don't seem quite right, well, Trucker Buck, you better keep a good eye on your privates.
A close eye on your privates to keep the predator away is what you're saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What you
Gotta
think
keep
about that, Chuck? Keep protected. That's right. You got to keep the privates protected when you're out there in a platoon situation. Ain't no kind of man without privates. I'll second that, Shy Guy. What you think, H. Jones?
I tell you what, knowing that there is potentially an entire wise species of predators just roaming around, attacking our good, strong men and women, I'm just so damn frustrated and angry at all this shit that I don't even know.
You and me both.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. That's crazy shit out there. We got it on good authority. This man is active duty in the Federation military. He's a sergeant major, which is a rank that's above private, I'm certain. Good authority that we got predators out in deep space currently fighting with us.
You gotta be careful, Mr. Buck, because you think you seen them, but they got some kind of cloak on them or something.
That's right. They got that adaptive camouflage, man. You think you
That's
know,
what it
but you
is.
have no idea. This
have
is
no
the
idea.
true life. Predators are attacking our soldiers.
That'll happen.
That'll happen. All right, Master Sergeant Jack Anoff, what else you got for us here on the Space Truckin' with Buck Ruckus radio show?
Well, I think I'm gonna sign off there because I gotta get back to my duties. But I do want to say I love what you boys are doing, and I can't wait to chime into next week's episode.
Well, we give you the 2-hand salute. We'll do this one here for you right now.
All right.
I'll make sure I get H. Jones in there on it too. There we
Thank
go.
you very much for all your hard work and so forth for you and your peoples out in the field.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, Sergeant Major. Pleasure speaking with you.
That's crazy, man. We got military confirmation.
Military
That don't come
confirmation.
every day.
It's a damn sector infestation, if you ask me.
It must be.
Man, I believe it. I believe it.
All right.
for-
Hey, I got one here for you.
Oh, you do?
It's an interesting one here. Said her daddy may have fed his enemies to a captured predator.
Oh, somebody
So-
captured the hunter, they say. Why don't you put them on
Yeah.
through?
All right, you there?
Hey, all right, caller, you got Space Truckin' with Buck Ruckus.
Who we
This is
got?
Buck
Who we
Ruckus
got?
here. We got him on?
Just call me a Dawn Rider.
Ooh.
A Dawn Rider.
That's right.
That's that early. That's what Shy Guy calls his early morning toilet adventures.
Well,
You know
more
what I mean.
Constitutional, but
Constitutional.
I do not
That's
associate
fair.
with that man.
Oh,
You got a problem with Shy Guy? I'll be all right. Shy Guy ain't for everybody. We're getting a little off topic here, Dawn Rider. Why don't you continue with what you called in to tell us? And we do appreciate your call on Space Truckin' with Buck Ruckus.
See, now listen. I don't have a lot of time, and this is privileged information.
Is that right?
My daddy, he's what you may call a big wig for one of those big companies out there in the outer rims. So,
which big?
you know, it might be a company that you know quite well,
Is that right?
but it shall remain nameless for my own sake. But
Can you give
when
us
he
a
was-
hint?
Some
Maybe
say they're always around.
Huh.
they're
Oh.
always around.
No,
I mean, could you be
Always
any more cryptic?
with
We'll try and figure out. We'll let Shy Guy take a crack at it. Maybe H. Jones can figure it out based off that. I appreciate you.
Now-
Please continue.
What I'm about to relay is nothing more than the memory of a child, but I do remember it to this very second.
Mm-hmm.
My daddy used to be into some shadier work, and that growl that you played a few moments ago.
You want to hear it
triggered
again?
This memory.
I know. I'm good. That's okay.
To be frank, I do not want to hear it, but I think maybe a jogger might be good.
Here, I'm at 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Chills me to my bones to this day.
That's creepy as shit.
Well, my daddy, in his line of work, made a lot of enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And if any of them were to get into his hands, well, that roar was the last thing they heard. And for a little Dawn to get out of bed at night, well, I may have just seen something that I haven't unseen. If you know what I mean.
What do you mean?
I would appreciate it if you elaborated just a little bit on that. Give us just as much as you feel comfortable telling us.
My daddy might have kept one of those predators around.
Oh,
From
damn.
all that I've heard tonight, I'm pretty sure of it with the shoulder cannon and the growls.
A growl and maybe this
Wait a
noise
minute,
right
good-
here.
God damn.
Oh,
God damn, man.
still makes me shudder.
I need you to give me a warning on those two. That's, it's not. I'm not saying I'm scared or nothing, but I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Now, did
I
you
see.
get a good look at it, or did you ever see it?
Well, Shy Guy was just a small wee babe at the time. But
Oh,
Just a little wee baby at the time. Now, you heard the sounds, and based on those sounds, and the business that your daddy's in, and the things your daddy used to tell you, you're saying that your daddy was able to, through either himself or pulling strings, able to catch a predator.
my dad is a man of means, and I wouldn't put nothing. He'll do anything. to
now
get
how do you think
on
he
his
went about
enemies.
catching him?
Yeah, how does your... what
How
does
does
it
one
take
catch a predator?
to catch a predator?
Yeah.
Well, being that I was just a child at the time, I don't remember ever being there when he was actually being caught. But
See,
See, I
There were
wonder
many
what would
large
happen.
spaceships that were going in and out of our compound time.
Now, it seems to old Bucky Rucky that the predator's a hunter, right? In order to catch a predator, you'd have to lure it into a trap, something that it can't deny wanting to get after. And once
would
it's
have
in
to
your
be a
little
hunter.
kill zone, that's when you enter the room and, tell it to have a seat right there and, yada, 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 and really get after him. You know what I
There
mean?
goes the nets.
There goes what?
You spring the nets on them, right? Like,
Spring the
I don't know. I
nets.
mean, I'm wondering
You
how
spring
you
the-
actually
yeah.
go about catching them. What kind of trap you'd spring on them?
I mean, all kind of nets. You probably have, half a dozen to a couple dozen strong-armed individuals with all sorts of pulse rifles and things like that to rush up and, get that predator catched.
I would say something like that might have been arranged.
I'm pretty sure that a couch is involved. You gotta ask it to have a seat on the couch, and that's
Right,
like a
okay,
trick
yeah.
phrase for the predator.
Well, the reason it's there in the first place is that you gotta find what it likes to eat. What it likes to prey on. And then you trick it in there by saying it's going to meet that, but really, it's your
Right,
strong-armed
right.
man with the pulse rifle.
Okay, but like so if it comes in, you have it take the seat on the couch, and then if you're pointing the cameras at it, and you turn those on, like it can't get away as long as you've got eyes on it, So it thinks it's there for food, but really it's there to sit on the couch where you would cast the net like a casting couch,
Right, like one of them casting couches you can set them on.
Yeah, and then you point the cameras at them and they can't go nowhere because you can see the whole thing.
I think we're onto something here. To catch a predator, you get a casting couch with a bunch of nets and casting and traps at it, and you got to point a bunch of cameras at it so it knows it can't leave. Like it could try to disappear, but we know where it's at. We got all the cameras in the world on it.
And it thinks it's
Casting
there.
couch and predator catching.
That's right, and then it thinks it's there for something else, and it turns out I got you. No, you're here to be looked at and monitored and studied, and then we can spread that information out for free via the intergalactic hubs.
Right.
Yeah,
Fiasco.
just broadcast it.
Yeah.
So anyone
Broadcast it
else
out,
can
man.
pick it
That's
up.
so that now the world has all the information on how to catch a predator with a casting
Using the
couch and a
casting
handful
couch,
of cameras and I gotta tell you,
And
man,
strong
hunting a predator, that's the most dangerous game if you ask me. That's rough stuff.
Well, I mean, as we've seen in the historical documents, that's pretty dangerous. Hey, Miss Donrider, let me ask you: when's the last time you ever, you went home? I mean, do you think there might still be a predator on the premises somewhere?
Me and my daddy don't get along, but
Oh. Well, not to bring up, bad memories or nothing like that. I'm just curious if you've been back or seen what's been happening, or you ever talk to your
seeing
daddy?
as only when I have to, but seeing as he's still a top dog in his business, I think that maybe he's still got one hanging around.
Now, Bella
On a couch.
Dawnrider, do you know the coordinates on where your dad would have kept and caught the predator? Do you know where the couch is? Is that something that you could reveal, or either to the public or a little bit more clandestine in a two-way communication track?
If I were to know such a valuable piece of information, I certainly wouldn't reveal it to you. But
Oh,
Oh, I thought you was a
That's
fan
right.
for a second. That's the trying to.
No, I mean I get it. It's her constitutional right to neither confirm nor deny
well,
to
sure.
that fact.
Yeah.
Right,
Jonesy
right,
here
right,
gets
right.
it.
What about this? What if you call back in later on, on a future broadcast and let us know if you found anything out? Maybe you can be our rider on the storm, as it were.
Well, I could see that happening after I get to know you guys a little bit.
Oh, you know where to find
Yeah,
us.
I mean, we're here every week. You know when we brought with that same Buck Ruckus time, same Buck Ruckus channel. I think it'd be great to get old Bella Dawn Rider out here, friends with us, and teach us how to catch a predator.
Yeah.
I think that make Buck Ruckus
Sounds like a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Mm-hmm.
Well, boys, I believe my daddy's probably monitoring my frequencies. I better get out of here before he comes and gets all up in your hair.
Please do, before old Jonesy starts getting worried that some high-powered individual is going to come after him next. Look
I
at that
wouldn't want
face.
that.
He's worried.
All right, well,
All right, Dawn Rider.
Appreciate
It's been wonderful having you with us. You know where to find us next time.
hope to hear from you soon.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You take it easy.
Bye now.
Bye.
I'm gonna
Catch
be
you later.
honest.
Dawn Rider.
If we ever get the Sergeant Major back on, we might need to share that information that we kind of put together ourselves about the casting couch and catching the predator, and
Yeah.
using all the different technologies,
How
wrangle
much
them
you
up.
think one of them predators would go for?
I mean, with or without the little shoulder blaster.
I don't know. I mean, does it come off?
That's That's a good. We should. Damn it, we should have asked that.
We
Shit.
got a big
Well-
damn cargo hold. I bet we could rig up a couple of containment chambers and maybe see if we can catch him in our ship.
Tell you what, that sounds like a fantastic plan.
Anyway, hey, Buck, I got one for you.
Oh, do you?
Yep. We got old Sammy Clams here. He telling us that got a predator stalking them when they go to work.
Oh. Well, I'll tell you what, you got Space Truckin' with Buck Ruckus. Buck Ruckus on the line with you. What you got for us?
Oh, hi there. Now, whenever I go to work, I can swear I have one of those things following me.
You don't
Is
say.
that right?
Now,
Now-
I haven't seen it, but I can hear it has one of that acto camo things y'all talking about.
Right.
So, first off, if we can ask, what do you do for work?
Now that's come on.
Oh, I'm just selling clams on the shore.
Oh,
Oh, Sally's selling seashells.
down by the seashore. Okay, that's
All
great.
right, yeah.
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
It's honest work. Hey, have you met my
You can
buddy?
surprise us, it's pretty cutthroat.
I got a buddy out there. He's selling pickles. Well, he's collecting pickles out there. Peter.
Oh, Peter, yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
you
Peter
talking about
Piper.
Oh, Peter loves his pickles.
Yeah, he sure does. That boy gets crazy on some pickles.
Sadly, I think he has too much fun with them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're on the beach, you're selling your seashells, and you think you see the active camo. Well, what happens then?
Oh, it's whenever I'm walking by, I see it knocking things over, and I can always hear it coming for me. I'm shaking him on my boots.
It's running after you as you're selling seashells by the seashore. Now,
That's
it
tricky.
is known that water interferes with the predator's active camouflage system. That's how
true.
it's written in the stories. Is he emerging from the water, or is he, I don't know, dropping in from behind or the rocks? Or give us a little bit more
He's just
information.
walking by and knocking things over.
Oh, he's just walking by,
Has he ever attacked
And
anybody?
knocking everything over.
knocking everything over.
I swear I could have felt him push me a few times. He doesn't seem right nice.
That don't sound that nice at all. I mean, that's classic predator behavior. I mean, he's not a pleasant guy to be around for sure.
Real asshole.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No, it's
I
okay,
haven't
John.
seen any of those casted couches y'all are talking about, but I'll keep a look for those.
That's right. Yeah, we got the casting couch with all the traps on it and cameras, and that's how one can catch a predator. So.
Oh no, this is something that we forgot to ask the last caller, Miss Dawn Rider, but we forgot to ask.
Oh Lord, I can hear it coming for me.
Uh-oh.
Stay on the line.
Got a bogey on your six?
Boy, stay on the line with us. Give us all the information you
Oh
can.
Lord, I just saw
Does it
a
have
little
a?
buzzer thing going by. Like it seemed like I was walking, but
Does it
couldn't
have a
quite tell
shoulder
what was
cannon?
wrong.
Do you see lasers?
Peter and his pickles are all a mess.
I mean, Peter Piper is always a mess about his pecking his peck of pickled peppers. You know what I mean?
They sure
Now,
ain't good though.
now, do you have Sallie down there? I know that she, well, you are Sallie. Oh, what?
I'm not Sallie, I'm Sammy.
No, it's Sammy, not Sally.
Hell's bells.
Oh,
It's been a
hell's
long-
bells.
it's been a
Sour
long week for
soup.
Buck, man, he been running them red eye hours.
Let me tell you, old Bucky Rucky gets tired sometimes of doing double shifts. Pardon me for
Sally,
misspeaking.
Sally, I think she's sleeping with the predator.
I think she's sleeping with. Oh, now is she cheating with the predator, or is the predator cheating with her?
Just
We
tell
might-
me they're not
Well,
married.
We all know that Peter and Sally are cheating on each other.
Man, that's the way it goes.
I'm pretty sure Peter prefers other company, if you know what I mean.
So
I think
not
I might.
only is the predator just going around and wiping out our, good soldiers and all those people that are here to protect us and all those things, but it's also destroying the sanctity of marriage.
Well, the sanctity of committed relationships between two adult individuals.
Damn it.
I think so. Now, this might be a topic you might want to call back in for when we get into Shy Guy's advice corner about Sallie and Peter and the Predator.
Oh,
and
yeah, we
Peter
can
and
figure it
Paul
out.
and Mary. We can figure all that out a little bit later if you want to call on back. How's that sound?
Oh, that sounds great. I greatly appreciate that.
We appreciate you too. You got anything else for us?
No, I just got some clams I gotta sell here.
All right, stay frosty out there.
Now just remember
Alright.
that
Oh, we don't sell them frozen.
just remember if you see any lasers, specifically in a triangular formation,
Yeah, that's right. That's good.
that's a sure sign that you got a predator, or like Buck was saying, if you throw water on it, where it's at, you throw water on it and it starts to shimmer more, then you definitely there's definitely some kind of cloaking technology that you definitely need to look out for.
That's right.
Alright, I'll try that on the Acto camo thing over there.
Definitely.
It's a pleasure to know that we're helping all sorts of folks out there in whichever galaxy or star system they're in tonight. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you too.
Stay frosty
Have
out there.
a
Watch
great
your
All right.
cornhole.
Watch,
Be safe.
watch your cornhole, and we'll talk to you maybe a little bit later tonight. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Well, you take care now.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Well,
We learned that the Predator's also a home wrecker.
I probably could have put that together on my own, just hearing the story.
Yeah, I mean,
He's already a piece of shit, What's another piece of shit to put on the piece of shit
Yeah, I
pile?
guess so.
yeah. I mean, last I heard, you take two pieces of shit, put a couple slices of bread around it, you got yourself a shit sandwich.
Well, he sounds like the biggest shit sandwich I've ever heard of.
I mean, that's true. Ain't no lie.
The King Turd of this shit sandwich.
Mm-hmm. Shy Guy, you got anything else for us?
Looks like we're slowing down here.
All
Maybe
right,
time to pay some bills. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea, Shy Guy.
Well,
Well,
that reminds me. Looks like we're running a little low on fuel.
no, I mean, that fuel gauge looks pretty good to me, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, hang on. Oh, Buck, you may think that after the accident of 2256, that Atmos Eternus may not be the trusted brand anymore. Well, I'm here to remind you that it's the only brand out there that can truly meet all of your space trucking needs.
Oh, yeah, we're doing the thing. Which page are we on there? I gotta check my screen up
Check it
here.
out.
Actually, 2256. Hey, that was the time that rig blew, and the whole sector had to be evacuated, right?
Sure is.
Shit, yeah, it lit up an entire solar system ablaze, man. All right, here we go. We got it, shooter.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. Hey, Shiler. I heard Atmos Eternus has a new Element 115 formula that's supposed to clean as it burns. Is that right?
That is right, Buck. The rumors are true. The new formula has been tested and peer-reviewed by a third-party research and analysis.
There we go. We got it.
Organization, which is also owned by Atmos Eternus, so you know it's good and reliable, just like Atmos Eternus.
I'm looking over here. It just says banter.
Yeah, banter.
Banter.
Well, shit. Shit if I know.
Yeah, me neither, man. Hey, you want to do the next part?
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
all
okay,
right.
all right. And on the count of go, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 7,
Atmos,
go. Atmos Eternus. We're in everything. And also, please don't remember that we did
a bad
thing.
The end.
The end. And that's the end of that one advertisement. Think our boy H. Jones got something over there for us. How's it going over there, Jonesy?
Well, let me tell you, the planet of Flax 6 needs your help to protect its children from the Clack-a-Clack-Clack. Flaxian children are being targeted for their tender meat by these terrifying creatures. The Clack-a-Clack-Clack only fear one thing: tall objects. So please, donate your tallest of hats for the Flaxian children to wear so they can live in fear of the Clack-a-Clack-Clack no more. Don't have a tall hat? For just 19 credits a day, you could help a child in fear of the Clack-a-Clack-Clack. Your 19 credits will go into a fund that helps the children of Flax 6 find a hat that fits their head. You might be wondering why the citizens of Flax 6 don't take up arms to neutralize the Clack-a-Clack-Clack
Hey,
population.
Jonesy, I've been wondering, man, why don't the citizens of Flax 6 just take up arms to neutralize the Clack-a-Clack-Clack population?
It's a simple question. It's a simple question with a simple answer. The Clack-a-Clack-Clack has been found to be crucial to the food, weather, and water cycle of Flax 6. In fact, once a Clack-a-Clack-Clack was captured, and upon removal, a chain of events unfolded that led to a small black hole opening up in the center of the planet, causing geography-altering earthquakes that leveled an untold number of schools, candy stores, toy shops, and playgrounds. So please, donate today to keep the Clack-a-Clack-Clack at bay.
I tell you what, that is one cause that I don't see why anybody can't get behind. We got kids out there that need hats to be taller so they don't get murdered by the Clack-a-Clack-Clack.
Give them them hats, y'all.
Them hats. Got a hat? Donate today.
Yeah.
Now I do believe.
Buck, we got a fresh caller here for you. We heard from her a minute ago. I think she got something to talk about.
Oh, why don't you put her on through?
Hey there, Miss Sallie. How's it going?
Hey, Miss Sallie Mae.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going all right tonight. Nice to hear you again.
Bad.
Sure is. Well, I got an ad for y'all.
Oh,
I
yeah,
am
okay.
Miss Sallie Mae Earline Bodean. I'd like for y'all to come on down to our one-stop shop for all your space trucking needs. We got everything a hot shot hyperlane runner could ever want. We got pies, fries, thighs. Hell, you won't even believe your eyes. Refuelin recharge at Big Mama's Bodean Diner and Refuelin Station, now with over a dozen locations throughout the inner and outer rims. So you're never too far from Mama's house.
Oh, man, I tell you, I never like being too far from Big Mama Bodean's house. I don't think Shy Guy is either.
That's my favorite place to go, man.
We are now offering a space truck decontamination, and asteroid collision repair. And don't forget that undercarriage, y'all.
Never.
Free space truck tune-up and lube job with the Motion Lotion Pass starting at 400 credits a month. The more you pay, the more you play.
It's only 400 credits a month now. That is one hell of a deal, because I'll pay and I'll play too. You know that, Big Mama.
You can't afford not to.
That's pretty damn good.
That's a good
also,
deal.
Every Friday night, this Galactic Quarter, come on down to the Hay Crab Boil and Fish Fry. All you can eat hay crab and boiled bass for $19.99.99 with a free glass of Cousin Early's moonshine, straight from the lunar surface.
That's a hell of a deal, man. We gotta try that one out.
I mean,
Yeah, no joke. Me and Shy Guy will swing by down there not after too long.
It is fantastic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget about your Mr. Meatloaf Mondays. Y'all guess the meat you eat, and you get the whole meal for free.
I'm on to it now. I think I figured it out. We're gonna try it next time I'm down there. I think you might be surprised. I got a few I can throw at you. I think I might have
I'm
figured
gonna tell
it
you
out.
right now, I don't know how many times Shy Guy's tried your Mr. Meatloaf thus far, but I know he ain't gonna give up till he figures out what it is.
Well, I'll give y'all a little secret. There's just a little something different every single time.
I've been saying.
I believe it. That's a little bit of a trick there, Big Mama Bodean, but I think that's why we love you. I think that's why Shy Guy loves you too.
Well, you see now, Big Mama Bodean was my mama. I am Miss Sallie Mae.
Yeah, you gotta get it right, man. Come
Miss
on.
Sallie Mae. My bad,
Big
Miss Sallie
Mama
Mae.
died in a space fire accident.
I
I'll have
know.
to tell y'all about that some other time.
She
Our
died in the space, yeah, and that was a very dark day for all of us full-time space truckers out here.
Sure was. I'll never forget her hair on Sunday Social Day.
Yep.
Well, this has been Miss Sallie Mae over at Big Mama Bodean's Diner and Refueling Station. Y'all come on back now, you hear?
All right then.
That's right, Miss Sallie Mae, Big Mama Bodean's Dinner Refueling Station. All sorts of deals out there for you in several different locations, all easily accessible. Now, I would like to tell y'all about a company that I do really appreciate. A place I like to go to a lot, and that is Shoots and Putt Driving and Shooting Range. Year-long gun show and kids putt palace. Come for the guns, come for the funds. At Shoots and Putt Driving and Shooting Range, we got all the guns and gun accessories a grown-up could ever want. It ain't about need, it's about freedom. Hey, Shiloh, give me your best Eagle Screech. We got combustion rifles, laser rifles, plasma rifles, pulse rifles. And while you're blasting lead down range, the youngins can putt as many putts as their heart desires. Our putt palace is filled to the brim with all sorts of fun stuff for the kiddos. I'm talking arcades. I'm talking mini golf. I'm talking laser tag with. We have after-school programs every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday. We offer tactical pipsqueak pistol courses where your kids enter as children and leave as men. Now come on down this Sunday. Where we'll be celebrating the ancient Krausian tradition, Kraus Crawl. Bring your finest, shootiest, luckiest, blasty piece, and as you're putting rounds downrange to our replica jet ski AI cyborg targets, your kids can practice all the live fire belly crawls. It's tradition. No real jet skis allowed at Shoots and Putt Driving and Shooting Range. We're gonna take just a little 30-second break here and put the hammer back down and get right on back to it. We'll see y'all on the flip flop, baby.
Welcome to Space Truckin' with Ruckus.
All right, Shirley, you got it.
You want me to dump my video? Switch to the screen.
Hey, boss, you're muted.
Oh my goodness gracious. Gracious sakes
What you
alive.
doing now?
Oh
You
man.
lose focus for 1 second in this game, somebody gets hurt. I've been trying to told you.
You have been trying to told me. I'm telling you, this 36-hour galactic day sometimes gets the best of old Bucky Rucky. It gets the best of everybody, every space trucker out there. We're talking 30 hours on, 6 hours off, baby. But we got H. Jones coming up here in just a second to tell us about a new paranormal conspiracy that he's been privy to called the Warp Warlocks. You got everything set up over there, H. Jones?
Yeah, we are ready to go.
Ready to go. Let me see if I can pull it up. Give me just a second. Oh. I think we're having a little bit of connection issue here at
Sometimes when you're bouncing the signal through 8 different wormholes, it can get a little lost in the fuzz.
Yeah, true that. True that, brother. We'll give it here just a little bit, but why don't you tell us a little bit about the Warp Warlocks till we get to the visual aid portion of the segment here. What exactly is a Warp Warlock?
Well, as you all may know, as we are traveling faster than light through the warp, often, we see some odd images here and there outside of our different ships and platforms and what have yous. Well, sometimes, those images aren't just, fun little astronomical, oddities. Sometimes they're a little more frightening than that. Sometimes, and I'm here to tell you about it today. They're warp warlocks. Now,
I see.
Now you might be asking yourself, "Hey, Jonesy, what gives? What the hell is that?" Well,
hey, Jonesy, what gives? What the hell's that?
Well, let me break it down to use. Basically, when you have a convergence of large fields of energy, sometimes they coalesce into something that basically gets its mind of its own, so to say, and manifests itself in such a fashion as to affect not just the warp space, but also to affect our space.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if y'all were able to, pull up the images that I can walk us through.
No, they're still having an issue. I think we might need to retry the connection from scratch here, H. Jones. If you want to bounce out and bounce back into that encrypted channel we got, see if that fixes the problem.
Check your modular pulse emitter. Make sure you got the isoliner transference compensator set to 11.
Yeah, what Shy Guy said.
I know how to do it, but okay. Well, thank you very much. I can take care of it myself. Thank you.
Sorry, my bad.
All right. Well, I am now going to do what I do. So, give me just a moment, and hopefully, I'll be back.
Okay.
All right, we'll see him in just a second. Shy Guy, what? Now these, I mean, not to tell tales outside the schoolhouse, but Warp Warlock is something I'm interested in, but I've never heard of before, and this seems a little bit too crazy to be real.
I mean, it may be a little outside our pay grade, but we've seen some crazy shit out there.
I tell you what, man, I've seen some crazy shit when we go into warp drive. I'm like, I get what he's saying, but maybe it's one of those things that's too crazy it can't
Sometimes
be
I go through the
real.
warp tunnel. I look out the window. I swear to God, it's a damn roller disco just having a big old time out there. Makes me want to go out there and party with them, but I don't know if I could.
We might have some experiments to get to here. I'd like to see, I mean, what would happen if we just knocked a spacesuit out of the airlock mid-warp? Think it,
lose it.
we'll probably lose it. Well,
all right, gentlemen.
He's back, and I think we got it hooked up and ready to go. Let's see if this works. Here we go. Here is our visual representation.
Are you receiving my transmission?
I received the transmission. I see it right here, player.
Fantastic. So, as I was saying before, Um, in this image, all is dust, a gas, some stars, and what have yous. But really, I don't know if you if you're tuned in on this, but right in here, you'll see this image.
Right, and this right here looks
yeah.
just like a regular old nebula.
Well,
That's what we're looking at.
I will have you know that it is not just a regular old nebula. This is a manifestation of a warp warlock. You see, you have these areas of intense energy right here.
Right.
So these are separate polar regions. Up here on the other side, you have a secondary manifestation of this kind of a reflection of energy, what have you,
I
on this
see.
side.
It looks like it's a little bit of glare coming off of that burst of light in the first one.
Precisely, much like a mirror, or a looking into a puddle of water with your face.
All right.
You see reflections amongst the two, but more importantly, with these different reflections of one another, inside down here on the bottom, there is a void space.
Void space. That's where nothing exists, never.
Not necessarily nothing, but more of a pull of energy. You see,
All right.
the warp warlocks, they manifest. I call them warlocks. They're not necessarily warlocks. It's just that you look at the whole image and it looks like somebody doing a weird dance or something around here in the margins.
Right.
You see that? Like there's a head up there, and then there's a little
Yeah,
arm
see,
that's
it's
playing.
kind of following the natural contours of the universe there, and this is where these warlock creatures can emerge.
Precisely. When they emerge from warp space, they enact these energy differentials, and they also create these zones of void space. Now, you can be pulled via this axis here, and it can pull you into the void space.
Right.
But then also, if one was to be pulled from amongst the other side in the warp, you could be spit out, and it would take you, this direction.
I see.
Okay, I'm glad you are following along, and it's all working. But not only that, but you see these emissions up here above this region,
Mm-hmm.
and they are seeming to pulse up to this spot, further to the galactic north.
Yeah, it's really zigging and zagging up there.
And so you bring them in, and you you want to kind of encapsulate this region.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it kind of gives you a visual representation of all the different activities going on in this area.
Right.
Now you might be asking yourselves, gentlemen, what can I do to protect myself from being pulled into say this void space?
Hey, what can we do to protect ourselves from being pulled into the void space?
That's a good question, Shy Guy.
I'm glad you asked. So basically, I will not name names, but I do have contacts who provide me with, certain written objects that lead to hieroglyphs that might be protective in nature.
Oh, secret source for H. Jones against his space sorcerers, I see.
It's warp warlocks, but to each their own. That's fine.
Okay,
So
I'm glad you're an understanding guy.
So basically, in here, we have our first symbol.
Uh-huh.
Now, it's the second most, well, I take that back. It's a bit of a competition between this and the next one I'll show you. But this one in particular, tell me how this makes you feel in your souls.
I'm going to tell you right now, what you just drew right there just creeps the ever-living piss out of me.
That looks like a damn predator claw.
You know what, Shy Guy? I think you're right. Maybe the predator's got something to do with this too. I mean,
that's aggressive. Like,
I'm glad you brought that up.
Like a damn.
This, as far as my information leads me to understand, this is in fact a what they would call a rage or war symbol from ancient Earth.
Right, it's probably why I felt kind of creeped out about it. I mean, I ain't afraid of no confrontation, but I do like to try and avoid it. I'm not a warring type unless I'm wronged in some kind of way, I guess. But yeah, I think that tracks for old Bucky Rucky.
Well, you burned down your share of juke joints in the day, man.
Oh boy, let me tell you, back in my early youth and not my middle youth, it was crazy times back then.
So let me introduce you gentlemen to the second of these symbols.
All right.
I cannot say precisely what exactly the representation is supposed to be, but all I can say is, much like the symbol above, all I can tell you is that it, I don't know, it irks me out in a way that I can't fully express verbally.
I mean, it does look menacing. Whatever that is, it kind of looks like a face, and a face that's about to eat your soul. I don't like it at all.
Is that what they do? They eat your souls?
It's not that they eat, these symbols eat your souls, but it creates a sense of dread in the small amount of energy that makes up our souls. That energies of greater energy, when they interact with these, they not only feel a sense of dread, but they are, driven away.
Yeah.
Are you talking about space madness?
And that's
like at a certain point, you're eating bars of soap and floating in a bathtub of water, but not in the tub because you're in 0G.
That's just a spa day, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
You and your buddy, as you're trucking, are just at each other's throats for seemingly no reason.
These symbols may cause this, which is why they need to be used in a very, sparing manner.
Right.
These will protect you generally within the warp. This final symbol is the most powerful symbol I have ever borne witness to myself. It is and I will say, of those of weak constitution, please feel free to join us back in just a moment, because, like I said, this is a very strong symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these two are for the warp. When you're traveling through warp space and you want to keep yourself safe, this will basically repel, these entities here, and keep you generally safe. Now, this symbol I'm going to show you is for our space. If this, this entity in particular, which I took with a internal camera out my port window as I was flying through the area, I enacted this specific hieroglyph to protect myself.
I'm at the edge of my seat to see what you're about to draw.
It's very strong.
Hang on.
That looks strong. I feel like I've seen this before.
That one looks familiar to me. What you doing there?
That is some kind of...
Oh my God! I've seen this one before.
I've seen it in my...
I remember I told you I saw it last time we was at Sallie Mae's joint. They had it in the bathroom, and there was a contact number underneath, said for a good time. But it had that symbol on it. Maybe the Warlocks was trying to come up through the toilets in Sallie Mae's joint.
That tracks for me, Shy Guy. I mean, I feel like I've seen that one too, but it's some kind of twisted infernal knot that shouldn't exist. I don't know how that thing exists. How do you make a knot like that?
It is a symbol that has persisted in multiple different societies and many different forms and factors for, as far as I understand, since the beginning of our current universe.
So everybody has seen this symbol. Everybody knows this symbol.
And oftentimes, I'm glad that he brought this up, but oftentimes people will place their numbers beneath, these objects because that imbues some level of energy into, their space in perpetuity with that number.
So what we got to do? We got to paint it on the ship, or tattoo it on our arm or something. How do we implement this?
Make a good hood ornament for the good ship paradise. Like, yeah, how does this
we
work?
can do that.
That sounds
Me
good to
myself, as when I was traveling through the area, and I'm glad I saw this because it was only a mere couple of weeks before I ran into this specific image. But I took this, and I'm glad you brought it up. I actually have it welded over many parts of my ship as to protect myself and mine own.
So you just plastic this sumbitch all over your ship.
That's correct. You cannot be too careful with the warp warlocks, because they are all amongst us. They manifest in these ways as nebula, quote unquote. But
Right.
They can also manifest themselves if they gain enough power into those that we feel like we know. They could take over, different bodies and different people, places. Could be a neighbor, could be your engine room globulin, anything like that. It could be any of those things.
What's
No,
a
yeah.
what's a globulin?
The engine, globulins. They little. We got 4 legs. They got 2 arms, and they take care of your ship for you.
I don't think I've ever heard of a globulin before.
I got 2 legs.
I think together we got 4.
But then we also got 4 arms. So
if we do like a Master Blaster situation, we'd have 4
maybe
legs,
gotta
4
be your
arms.
boat.
It's got to be your bull. I mean,
Y'all,
tell you what.
You're saying you don't.
I'm not following you here.
It's it's orange and it's got 4 legs and 2 arms. Are you scrolling with me? Is this
No.
nah.
some
What are you doing that for?
Jonesy, I don't think I ever heard of a globulin.
What they take care? When you say take care of the ship, what are you talking about?
engine? They stay in the engine room and they repair your objects and such.
Am I a globulin?
I think Shy Guy might be a 2-legged globulin. That's what he does on the good ship Paradise.
No, mine told me that they all have 4 legs and 2 arms and don't ask no questions about nothing.
I need to call Mama and ask her some hard questions.
Just please don't do that from this ship, Shy Guy. Wait till we get over to Big Mama Bodean's before you call Mama Shy Guy.
Well, yeah.
Are you? Hang on a second. Are you telling me y'all don't have a little orange fella that
No, it's just me and Shy Guy.
fixes things?
He fixes the ship, I pilot it.
It's 2
Okay.
dudes out there getting it done.
Well,
2 dudes, just 2 sweet ass
I mean, we
dudes
get
out in
Ziggurat
space.
occasionally, but I don't think that's what you're talking about.
So I'm gonna, hang on. I'm gonna switch from this, and I'm gonna go back to. Let me know when you can see my face. Please see my.
We got your beautiful face up on the feed here.
Okay. And y'all don't know about. I don't have no engine globulin. Nothing.
Nope, no engine globulin. Not that I ever heard of.
I mean, not since last time I checked, anyway. I mean, I don't know. It's been a minute, but
When was the last time we gave you the engine room back there good detailing?
it's been a few months at least.
We're good for a new one. Maybe we'll take it on in and
Since
get
the
it
last time we
detailed.
stopped off at Ganymede.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hitting them casinos.
I'm just kidding with you guys. It's nothing.
Oh, just a little
nothing.
practical joke from Jonesy.
There's
A
nothing.
Jonesy joke.
Yeah, there's nothing going on over here. There's no big deal. There's no, hidden monster in my engine room scaring me or nothing like that.
Gotcha.
There's nothing. Nothing's
Right.
going on. I'm fine. There's no big deal. But the 4-legged orange thing that is fine. We're good. Okay.
Who's that? Who's
Oh,
that
we're
cloaked
good.
fella behind you there?
So watch out for what?
I said, who's that cloaked fella sitting behind you there?
There's
He kind of hunched over. He's got a dark cloak on. He's got a rope around the waist. And
I bet can you hear him?
can you hear him? How about now?
God damn it! You sons of bitches!
Careful now, don't let the predator get you.
You sons of bitches!
I'll stick groveling at you.
I come on here and I share with you damn good information about warp warlocks and how to
I'm
protect
with you
yourself.
there.
Oh, I believe the warlocks. I ain't never heard no gribling. I thought you just pulling our leg.
You never heard of? Okay, no, it's
Okay.
fine. No big deal. Okay.
Careful.
Well, so keep an eye out for the warp warlocks. They might be anyone or any person or what have yous, but keep those symbols up and keep yourself safe.
Maybe old
I'm going
Dawnbringer's
to-
a warlock.
I am going to step away for just one moment and take care of a small problem that has nothing to do with anything that we spoke of.
Yeah.
But so I will be back. If
Okay.
I am not, please let my dad know.
Who's your daddy?
That is I can't confirm nor deny that.
Oh,
I have that my dad is such. So
And
okay.
I see. Yeah.
okay, I better be back. That's okay.
Oh,
Alright.
there goes
Careful.
Jonesy. I'll be goddamn.
Get damn predator on his ship. Man, talking about.
Man, you got,
Hey,
you got some kind of gribling.
Yeah. So we got a few submissions here for the shy line.
Oh, we do. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we just skip right on to the other shy line?
All right.
How you feel about that, shy guy?
It works for me.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna leave the camera focused on you, and I'll read these questions out to you, and you can answer them. How's that sound? Or do we have them calling in?
Looks like these are text transmissions.
Text transmissions. All right then. Where we at here? All right, Shy Guy, you ready for I got one right here.
All right.
It says, "Dear Shyler, I was married to my husband Bill for 3 months, and I didn't know he drank until one night he came home sober. He was always a real bubbly guy, and knew how to get a rise out of the crowd and could always make me laugh. You know, the whole reason why I married him. And then one night he came home from work, kissed me, and I could tell something was different. So when I asked him how his day was, he grunted and told me he finally went to his first Galaxian AA meeting. So now I have a boring, sober husband that does nothing but sit on the couch and watch space tube transmissions. What do I do? Leave him? Get him drunk? I don't know." Shy Guy, what you got for us?
Well, let's think about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Said she's married to Bill for 3 months. Didn't know he drank till he came home sober.
Man, that's a space trucking song if I ever heard one.
I tell you. You know, here's okay. My gut instinct reaction on this one.
Right.
Don't mess with a good thing. My question to her would be: is she eating good? Do they live in a nice place?
Yeah, I need you to back up off that mic just to scope.
I'm gonna back up off your my foot here in a minute. They got a good car. What's she complaining
A
about?
space car, maybe, or a regular car. Well,
Sounds
I
to
think
me like- well, I don't know. I mean, I suppose there's something to be said for having a boring fella, but
I mean, if he keeps the lights on, and brings home the brings home the money, or maybe you bring home the money, maybe he cooks, maybe he takes care of the home. I don't see anything wrong with that. Other than, I think the real problem here is that she married a different man. She wanted a different man. She married somebody, then he went and had to go get sober. Now he's different.
Well, what's her excuse?
That'd be a good question for her.
Is
What is her?
Is the only way that she can, have a good time is to put a couple bottles of hooch in her? That's fun for a few years when you're younger, but I mean,
There ain't nothing wrong with being a wildcat well into your later years.
I can put back a few, but after a while, the gas tank starts to go empty a little bit. I feel like maybe she should go with him to one of these meetings. Maybe she'll find something she can get into.
I feel like it's the first time that she's ever considered settling down. I think it may be on something there.
Maybe it's time for her to well, not sow the oats, because that'd be what she did before, but harvest them.
Harvest
Time to
those. I
harvest some
feel
oats.
maybe it feels like the first time again for her to be with somebody who can properly take care of her and not be those two just catting around all night together.
Also,
Going
another
different
question:
places.
what kind of space tube transmission is he watching?
That's a good question.
Is it if it's nothing but ancient? Well, I suppose I don't want to call it out because that's kind of what we do, but I don't know. I feel like
You think he may be
married
going through
someone
down
and
them
wasn't ready for it, and now life is set in and she's regretting it. So I suppose there's only two options: either shit or get off the pot. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think we found it. Shoot or get out the pot. Shy Guy's advice on the Shy Line to
Sometimes you just gotta
Bill's wife.
perspective. You gotta take a step back
Right.
and view everything objectively. What's the word? Objectively.
Objectively.
And decide what is worth it more for you.
Right.
Having a good old time or having a good old life. Figure out your priorities and act accordingly.
I think, yeah, if she don't want to change for the for the marriage, then she might be in for a world of hurt, like we heard back at the Predator. Know what I mean?
Even the wildest of wildcats come home to roost eventually.
Right.
It don't matter where you get your appetite from, as long as you do come home to eat. And I feel like he'd come home to eat.
I mean, why go out for burgers when you got burgers at home? Am I right?
Or steak, or chicken, or
Chili.
vent rat, or rad tail, or whatever they got.
And I says scorpion kebab.
So I suppose that's my answer. Decide what's important to you and act accordingly. If you want to go out there and keep carrying on and wildcatting all night, more power to you, sister. I don't blame you. But sometimes a man got to take stock and reevaluate. And maybe he decided that the partying days are over. So
Right. I think we got H. Jones back on the line. Is that right, Jonesy?
That's correct.
oh, hey there.
Everything-
Oh, he can confirm or deny if he is in the transmission now.
Correct.
Are we ready for another Shy Guy advice corner?
Sure. What you got?
I got one right here. This is a real quick one. Dear Shyler, a space skunk moved into my space shed and had babies in my space washer. Any ideas of how to get it out of there or relocate it?
Oh, that's a hell of a problem. I'll tell you what, I've had that happen quite a few times back on the farm.
I bet you.
Yeah, Mama would grease me up. She'd give me a lighter and a can of the WD-400,
Yeah.
and she said, "Get after it, boy." And I'd climb in the vents, and basically you just follow your nose, like that ancient toucan flying around there eating the fruity whatever's.
Yeah, that old prophet toucan, like follow
right.
your nose wherever it goes.
Yeah. So you crawl, you get up in there, you make sure you're greased up, crawl through, get your sprayer there.
Mm-hmm.
And once the smell becomes unbearable, you probably hit the right place. I mean, if you have a light, you'll be able to tell. If you don't, you just use your nose. And then what I would do is I'd give them a little spritzing. You flick the lighter, hit the WD, watch them scatter. And then what you can do is you can have someone else, people posted up at the egress from the vents where they can catch them, and then you have yourself a skunk fricassee.
A skunk fricassee.
See, what's happening here is they're talking about a problem, but really it's a blessing in disguise.
How do you figure, Shy Guy?
Space skunk is good eating.
Yeah, to be fair, I will say my father was a bit of a head crab trawler himself. Had his own ship, and oftentimes we would get the space skunk and the Rhodian weasels up in there, and you know, when you're trying to hold on to a specific cargo, and you could eat the head crabs, and don't get me wrong, they're freaking delicious, but you want to save that so you could sell that later on. Space skunk is great,
So you're saying that one should be an opportunist and not only consider eating the space skunk for themselves, but they could capture it and sell it for profit.
I mean, space skunk's fairly ubiquitous.
Cycle. You got to keep up.
They're very.
If you're capitalized on that market, that's some extra income for the family.
You're not gonna get too much from space skunk. It is very common.
Well, I suppose, yeah, you're not wrong. But if you can cultivate in mass, then you may be onto something.
That's a tough gig to have. They don't take up as much space as the head crab, and it doesn't require as much infrastructure, so to say, to obtain. But it could get real out of hand real quick. If you're not prepared or equipped. It's easy to clear them out. But if you're not, if you don't have the facilities for it, I would say avoid that particular route. But each their own. It's your constitutional prerogative, so to say.
Yeah. Jonesy back with a constitutional prerogative. Now, Shy Guy, I got a question for you with this advice question that we got. What if it's only you, and you can't get the other people to go? After you make the skunk scatter, you ain't got nobody else to go catch them as they go scattering through the vents. You got a fix for that one?
Then you've got your classic skunk sprawl, your skunk spree, even, that ain't no big deal. Look, you basically just have to figure out what you're working with and what your goals are.
Mm-hmm.
If your goal is just to get rid of them, then get rid of them. They don't like fire. That's pretty universal, I think. So you get in the vent, you clear them out with your flamethrower, and they won't be back for a while. And you can use the time they're gone to fortify your position. What me and Leron used to do when we had the raccoons get into the walls there is we'd put the super zapper on all points of entrance. So if they do come back, you hear it. You get a buzz, and you get an afternoon snack in the same deal.
I tell you what, I think Shy Guy got it all figured out for this dear Shyler.
I'm telling you, they think they got a problem. What they got is an opportunity. That's what it is.
And I will say to add on top of that, most of the time, a lot of these space rodents and space weasels and what have yous, they much like your everyday cloned space feline.
Did you say the space dweezil?
Space weasels.
I thought you said dweezil. I had a space dweezil once. His name was Zappa. That's all. I'm sorry.
Well,
I
you
just
know,
want
there's all kinds of hybrids you can get out
to
of
throw
it.
you off.
But you much like you're cloned or replicated, space feline with the nip.
Mhm.
When it comes to the weasels and skunks and the what have yous, they go a little crazy about the smell of not necessarily burning exhaust, though that helps, but just general pulsating exhaust from the engines. So if worse comes to worse, you can just pump that bad boy a few times, and next thing you know, you got your area packed, and that's when you send yourself or family members or whoever you got, and they
Right.
go in there with the flamethrower, and then or with the WD 400 and lighter, whatever you got. But more
Right.
importantly, you got them cornered, and you can take care of it. And that's like he
See,
was saying, that's opportunities.
doing this before. We got to go skunk trawling sometime, man.
Oh man,
I'll
I'd
take
love
you-
to get the gang out there skunk trawling one of these days. I'm tell you,
Ooh,
that's
hell
gonna be a
time.
party. We get a cooler full of space beer and head out there on the trails and go skunking.
Hell
Space
yeah.
skunking. Hell yeah, that's gonna be great. Let's get to the next question here. I think we about answered this as much as we could. Let's see, we got another Dear Shiler, so
All right, hit me.
Dear Shiler, I like exotic pets. I
do
bought a
too.
boa constrictor from the Outer Rim, one of them that's supposed to provide more of a challenge to care for. Well, a challenge it was, because within my first week of having the darn thing, the darn thing escaped. I live in an apartment with neighbors literally on the other side of the wall, and this 6-foot boa is nowhere to be found.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That sure is. Here's where things get interesting. It's been 3 weeks and the darn thing crawled back into its cage.
Oh,
I
well,
think-
hey, there you go.
I mean, by
the
this point,
problem?
it sounds like it solved itself.
Yeah,
I think it found a bunny or something, because it has a bulge in its belly of whatever it ate. What I need your advice on is, right around the time the snake came back, my next door neighbor started posting flyers about how her prize Pomeranian has gone missing. What do I do? Well, Shy Guy, what you got?
That's a pickle. Okay, so he got the boa. Boa got out. Looks like it ate the neighbor's Pomeranian. And now the neighbor's asking what the hell.
Right.
well, I mean, snake
it
ate-
might be a bunny.
yeah, I mean the snake ate something. It's who's
Well,
to say?
it's better to cover your bases on this one, so I tell you what I'd do. Now, I don't know where you live or if you have access to, the type of open spaces that would propagate this sort of thing, but what you can do. I tell you, I've actually done this one before. So this comes straight from the vault. You're gonna go out. You're gonna get you some. Go down to Big Mama Bodean's Monday night. Get you some meatloaf to go. Okay, you're gonna get some of that meatloaf. You're gonna take it home. You're gonna heat it up, and you're gonna set it out as bait for the raccoons.
That's some good
But
damn
you
bait.
set up your box trap. It's a masterful bait system I've devised over the years for catching.
Shy Guy, you ain't nothing if you ain't a master batesman.
That's true.
Right.
Doing a lot of years.
He been master batesman for a long time. Shy Guy has.
So you're gonna set up your box trap with your meatloaf under it, and you're gonna wait. And that raccoon's gonna get up in there. He's gonna knock a stick over. The box is gonna fall down. He's gonna, oh God, I can't get out. What am I gonna do? So you're gonna wait till he calms down. You don't want to open the box while he's still, causing a fuss in the box, because then he'll get out and claw your face off. It's not a good time.
Right.
So make sure he's all tuckered out. Take a couple hours. He'll get tired eventually. He got a little boost from that meatloaf, so wait for him to burn through that. So he'll eventually tire out, and then you can get the net on him, take him inside, and honestly, what I did is when this happened when I was a kid, we took it in the bathroom. I got into some of Mama's hair dye, and we just bleach the fur, turn it orange, and kind of give it a bit of a bouffant situation. Blow the hair out a bit. So you've seen one of them little poofy Pomeranian dogs. They're like little tribbles.
Yeah, they're just like a little ball of fuzz, like straight hair that comes on out. They kind of yap at you, bite your ankles.
Bite you. So that's where you get the overlap between the raccoon and the Pomeranian. So they have similar psychology.
The Pomeranians and raccoons.
Yeah,
I see.
They're angry as a son of a bitch. So then we got our raccoon. We bleached the fur. We did his hair up, and then we just sort of let him loose on the neighbors. We put some more of that meatloaf on the porch so he'd come to it, and neighbors come out and say, "Oh my God, it's Fluffy." None the wiser. It's a bit clandestine, I'll give you that. But sounds like you are in a bit of an emergency situation, so we gotta do what we gotta do.
Now, I see what you're saying, and I love how elaborate your plan is, and you're pretty much just putting a lipstick on a raccoon there to dress up like a Pomeranian. But I just got to ask the simple question, or propose the simple answer of maybe you just do nothing. Because, I mean, yeah, your snake got out, and the Pomeranian got lost, but... And there's that big bulge in your snake's belly, but, I mean, we will never know what it is until it comes out. You know what I mean?
I gotta be straight honest on this. It's none of that goddamn business. What your snake eats. Maybe it got out.
Way to look at it.
Maybe it got out. Maybe it didn't. It's neither here nor there. As on their part, unless they come by and ask. And at which point I would say, fuck out of here.
It's not about what you know. It's about what you can prove.
Exactly.
They prove your snake ate their dog or whatever? No.
Exactly.
And then, you do what you got to do. But
at that point, that's when you hand them a handwritten note, and on that note it says, "Look here, I will see you in court." And you sign the bottom, and you leave it at that. If they want to take it further, then so be it. But honestly, right now, sounds like you got some nosy pieces of shit that might be better off without some yappy little white turd running around.
On the other hand, you can drive around and find a Pomeranian. You can just pick those up on the side of the road.
They're everywhere, man. Out there in certain parts of the solar system, we got Pomeranians that are just taking over cities. I tell you, like, I don't know what happened. I don't know how they breed. They breed like space rabbits or something, man. They're just everywhere. You can't take a step without a Pomeranian yapping at you. So go find you one of them, dress that up like a hog, and send it on down to your neighbor. And then it's the best of both worlds. One, you trade a Pomeranian for a Pomeranian. Two, your neighbors think that you're a hero and you found their dog. And three, ain't nobody got to worry about your snake. Just keep it locked up. Or hell, keep it unlocked. Let it eat the Pomeranian again. And then go find another one. I mean, honestly, you're a hero over and over and over again, shooter.
Unless they've got some privy information about your potential involvement in this whole debacle, it sounds like you can't lose. Do something, do nothing. What are they gonna? They don't know.
Precisely.
Find you a raccoon, find you a street palm, or just lock the door.
I tell you what, fellas, we about beat this question half to death like a dead Pomeranian. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get to another question here, but before I find another question for us, after this segment, we do have the "Hey Buck, what you ruckin" segment. And if you type in either directly to us or elsewhere, you get in touch with us any way you can. If you guess what we're rucking, we'll give you 100 ruck bucks. It's a prize for you if you can guess what old Bucky Rucky's rucking.
Got them ruck bucks. They just came out the printer yesterday.
That's right. Hot off the blockchain printer.
Oh, they're still warm?
Yeah, I put them under my pillow last night just to feel it, just to smell them. You know, you just get it ain't often we come around the actual physical money these days. So like when you get some, I don't know, I just want to smell it. Smells good. You ever smell money? Smell good.
I mean, it's hard to get a hold of fresh paper nowadays, so I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And honestly, you know, you get that sweet smell under the pillow with a little of that warmth out here in the vast
Reminds
dark.
me of simpler times.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. That sounds great.
So what do you think, Buck?
Well, I'm reading one right now. I think we
okay.
got us a halfway decent one right
last?
here. Yeah, one last one.
Okay.
This is a Dear Shiler. My daughter wants to run off with one of those kids from Flack 6. You know, them kids at Flack 6 where the clacks clack clack keeps trying to eat them. Yeah. Only thing is, only the kid says, I guess, it's worded kind of odd, but the kid that this writer's daughter is running off with is a bit of a double dealer, if you know what I mean, swinging from lady to lady type of thing.
Oh, well, I mean,
But he seems to run around with a different girl every chance he gets.
okay.
Now, it's not that he's from another planet, or that he has to wear the tall hats, but a cheating son of a gun can only bring trouble. What would you do?
Okay, well, all right. Let's break this one down here.
Hit me with it, shy guy.
Girl's in love. Got her new man. He's so fine. He's so cool. All right, I get it. Now, do they know that he likes to step out like that, or where's this coming from?
Well, I imagine that the writer does know. I mean, the writer said that he is a bit of a wildcat out there.
Okay. So they're probably young. A couple of kids. Here's the thing. You know what I think about it? You don't learn how to swim unless you get thrown into the deep end. Now, I'm not saying go out there and make bad decisions, but let me ask you this, Buck.
Mm-hmm.
When you were a young buck, could anyone have told you anything about anything when it came to, seeing the ladies?
I'll tell you what, man, when I was out there, I was just a rogue on the prowl, man. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. Old Bucky Ruckus seen his fair share of all sorts of romantic encounters. We're talking. I mean, I've been to Havana Nights. I've been to the town of Footloose. You know, taught them how to dance.
They do the dance competition every
They do that dance competition out there. I've been all, you know, just about everywhere. Midnight in Paris.
Yeah.
Been to the Sea Tranquility.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that this may, unfortunately, be one of them situations where she just needs to get a little hurt.
Here's the thing. I think I'm with you, Shy Guy, because, you know, you get a little hurt, and then you're off kind of, and then you got to get back out there. And we all know the legend of how Stella got her groove back.
That's right.
That's right.
Just like the historical documents tell us.
Stella.
Sometime after severe heartbreak, you get your groove back, and then you get back up on that horse, and guess what? You know how to ride now. You can side saddle, you can surf, you can jump off, do whatever the hell you want. You figured it out.
Here's the crazy thing about it too, Shy Guy.
Yeah.
We all know how Stella got her groove back, but some of us out there may not know the lesser-known story of how Stella got her groove back again. She got it, and then she lost it, and then she had to get it back again. But it's just a cycle, you know. Like, you'll get it back, and then you lose it, and then you get it back, and then you might lose it again. But, you know, it's all about ups and downs, shooter. I know, you know.
All they can really do, unless they want to tie her up and lock her in the closet, and I suppose that's one way they could go. Mama had to do it to me every once in a while. It is effective, but it doesn't make for a very conversational Sunday dinner, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So maybe just give her the warning. Say, hey, we see him out there. He's out there with Susie, and then with Sallie, and then with Jesse, and then Raphael. And we think it's going to happen to you too. But if you like them, then you do what you got to do. Figure it out.
If they're out there with Raphael, they're going to be out there with Leonardo, maybe a Donatello,
perhaps,
or hell, even a Michelangelo. I mean, that's Sallie, Jesse, Raphael, Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello.
He can hit the picture show with whoever he wants. It ain't for me to talk about or to call.
I tell you.
What I am saying is that as parents in these trying times, all you can do is be the goalie for your children's hearts. If I may get a little sentimental here.
I see.
They're gonna go out there. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. And if you lock them in the hidey hole to punish them, they don't learn nothing except how to be sneakier. If you want them to be open with you, talk about it, be there for them to catch him when she falls. That's all you can do.
Sometimes you gotta let them go. Let them go and figure it out on their own.
That's right. Now I tell you though, if he does screw around and break this girl's heart, then you break his knees. I'm not saying there should be no consequences.
I mean, to be
That's
fair, he's weak enough to need a hat to hide from a predator. So
it's like the ancient Earth prophet Merle Haggard said.
What old Merle Haggard say?
My heart, so I broke her jaw. Maybe not her jaw, but in this case, his jaw.
He broke my heart, so I broke her jaw.
Yeah.
Maybe next time he'll think before he cheats.
Exactly.
I
Now
see.
I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
Hey,
Look,
you know
I
what?
don't have no kids of my own, but I imagine it can't be that difficult, man. Just dust
Take
them off.
away-
Oh, kids, they're easy.
Take away his hat. If he's gonna be a piece of shit and break her heart, snatch that stupid hat off.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on the planet Flax 6, and we all know. I mean, Jonesy read that earlier. They got the clack problem out there. If you ain't got a tall enough hat, that thing will come eat you, snatch you up quicker than the Predator. And there's a
Use your
whole swarm of
environment
them.
to your advantage.
That's right.
So
That's
maybe,
right.
That line, you can make them disappear pretty easily. I've heard it from the ad earlier.
That's right.
pull up, pull up a tiny chair, have him take a seat, and lay it out for him. Be like, hey, I know what's going on. Don't break her heart. If you do, I'll take that hat and shove it up your ass, and then have fun. Running from the clacks to clacks or whatever.
That's right. You got to tell the kid. Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, that you broke my kid's heart, because I just don't think I'd understand.
I'll shove that
And
hat up your
I'll
ass.
take that hat quick, fast, and in a hurry. I'll snatch that right up, and I'll fly away. I'll leave you out there. Leave you out there in the wild. I think we about beat this one half to death too, Shy Guy. I think it's time for one of my favorite segments. Hey, Buck, what you ruckin'? Unless we got one more question.
No, I think we're into the.
No, I think we're good.
What you think?
Well, let's take a look here. Let's read off what we got so far. Let me scroll on through. I think there's a kind of an interesting one. It says Drone 35 here, Logical Watcher, enlarged fan. In response to query, Drone 35 approximates Ma and Paul's Moon Station Moonshine 5-gallon option, including flavors, dandy junk apples, crab slaw juice, dessert beard sweat.
I think I said, excuse me, desert.
Oh, that's desert beard sweat, and all-time favorite, Sister Wi-Fi kiss. I tell you what, that's a good one. That one might be pretty close. Let's see who else we got here for Hey Buck, what you ruckin'? And get your answers in now. If you get it right, we'll give you about 100 ruck bucks.
Let's see. It says Buck is rucking every single copy of E.T. Extraterrestrial for Atari that was buried in the Alamogordo landfill in Tejas, USA. Where's Tejas, USA?
That's an old dry hot place over in the northern hemisphere in the western side. Let's see. I'm taking a guess that you're hauling a 10-ton block of moon cheese. Ooh, somebody knows about our moon cheese business that we get into. Uh-oh.
Long-time fans. That's good to hear.
Mm-hmm. This other feller says an ancient singular CD, or ancient singular seal CD. Greatest hits from 94. Man, that's damn near 1,000 years old. It's a great old guess, too.
Well, Buck, what you think?
Well, Shy, what you think?
All right, well, here we go. Buck Ruckus fan. See if I say this right. Termaphia. Did I get that right?
I think that's Otter Mafia, Shy Guy. Buck is Ruckin. Otter Mafia got it right. Buck is Ruckin. Every single copy of E.T. Extraterrestrial for Atari that was buried in the Alamogordo landfill in Tejas, USA. Otter Mafia steals it. Gets what Buck is Ruckin. We're gonna get him about 100. Let me go ahead and transfer them Ruck Bucks over to him. Y'all take over the show for just half a second.
Yeah, so if y'all didn't know, these Ruck Bucks, we're trying it out. We got some paper currency, but honestly, what we're really getting into now is this crypto coin business that old Jonesy over here been filling our ear with.
You know, I've been a part of one or two of them, but I feel like the Ruck Buck, with the overall spread of individuals from this timeline and every other timeline, I really feel like the Ruck Buck will really see the longevity that's needed for these types of currency. But they have the physical along with, you know, that locked away sort of multi-wormhole currency. That really is the game changer, I think, that we're gonna get.
You know, and this is it's a good opportunity we've been looking for a long time to expand our brand, get our name out there a bit farther and wider, into several different timelines even. And I just hope that y'all, you know, dig into it as much as we have, and you know, get Buck. We want Buck Ruckin all over the universe, all universes, if we can.
In perpetuity. All times, all places.
Throughout the universe.
Well, I tell you what, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty in how to get these Ruck Bucks over to them, so it won't happen live on the air. But I will assure everybody here and everybody watching right now that Otter Mafia is gonna get his Ruck Bucks. I tell you what, shooters, this has been a hell of a night for us here at Space Truckin' with Buck Ruckus.
It's been a good one of the better ones.
One of the better ones. You know what? I believe Ruck Bucks are accepted currency at Big Mama Bodean's diner and refueling station. So if you ever get one of these, head on down to one of her dozen or so extremely accessible locations throughout the system. Big Mama Bodean's diner and refueling station.
Oh, did Big Mama Bodean get back on the that request I sent out?
We got the signatures we needed and got the paperwork in order, and the eggheads and the suits and ties said it was all up to snuff. So,
damn! I'm taking me a little detour. Not right now, maybe later, but you know.
If you had to confirm or deny if you were going to make it over to Big Mama Bodean's, what would your answer be there, Jonesy?
I think you broke him.
You
know, never to ask him directly like that. We've been through this before. I swear to God, last time you asked him to confirm or deny, I saw some steam coming out of his ears. I think he might be part cyborg.
Well, hang on now.
I might explain.
I ain't none of them. Now hold on. I ain't got no problem with cyborg, but
No, we love all forms of life here on Space Truckin' with Buck Ruckus.
You can put a hot dog over them ears and boil them.
I will say I will be there at Mama Bodean's when she has the next Well, maybe not in the next one, but I'll be there for one of the mystery meatloafs, and probably, when the prices drop for the head crabs. They're not in season right now, but maybe later, when they are or are not in season.
Yes.
Well, that's about as
understood
specific as much as we could ever get out of Jonesy, and I think that's why I love him so much. But we're going to wrap up the show here, there, boys and girls out there in a space trucking land. Again, this has been Space Trucking with Buck Ruckus.
We sure
Tonight,
appreciate you coming hang out.
sure appreciate y'all coming out. Pay attention to that chat over there. Maybe we'll catch you on the Hamnet here real soon.
That's right.
Just to wrap up, we talked about the ancient alien cryptid, the Predator. We got more of that to get to next week.
Oh, that's right. Part
And
two.
the next show, next episode, we got a part 2 on that one, a 2-parter on that one. Talked about them space warlocks, or them warp warlocks. Sorry, Jonesy. That was
Don't
a
forget the symbol.
beautiful
Can we-
artist. Yeah,
We need to share them symbols out as much as we
we'll
can.
get them symbols out. Don't worry, that
Diving
weird,
into a bit of, ancient literature. Next
the
week.
not that could never be. Some ancient literature next week.
Epic poems.
We got some epic poems coming up next week. Some one that I was able to score deep in the belt markets called Copperhead Road by Steve Earle. It's about 1,000 or so years old. That's my specialty, is about 1,000 years ago, give or take 100 or so. And that's a great song, and we can speculate all to our heart's content on what those lyrics mean. Shy Guy gave some sage wisdom for us tonight. And again, we'll be back next episode with Predator Part 2, some ancient epic poems, and all sorts of good fun stuff. So, without further ado, everybody, Shy Guy, say goodbye. Jonesy, say goodbye.
Goodbye, Shy Guy.
Much respect to you and yours, and so forth.
That's right, we got the salute going on here, boys and girls. We're going to leave you with, I know it's the intro animation, but I got to tell you, I just love that thing to death. We're going to play that once, maybe 2 more times, and we'll be at your hair. Until then, keep the hammer down, guys.
Y'all have a good one. Tell your mom and them I say hey.
That's right.
Welcome to Space Truckin' with Buck Ruckus.
All right, Shirley, you got it.
Welcome to Space Truckin' with Buck Ruckus.